And welcome again, ladies and gentlemen, to the RGL Season 6 Amateur Playoff Series on Is Just Jazz Real on Twitch.tv. I am Just Jazz, I am real as always, and we are bringing you guys some semi-final action on this glorious Wednesday. We've got a team named Finger, the number 1 seed, versus Insert Cheesy Bread, the number 4. Both teams fighting for a chance to play in the glorious, coveted spot in that grand final. This is really all I had written down, by the way, guys. That's not an epic intro like last time. I have to work for a living, so I don't get to do all this cool stuff. But we've got a great cast of characters on this cast tonight. We've got me. We've got making his return, number 1 rocker, and making his debut on Is Just Jazz Real on Twitch.tv, the world famous TC Mono. We've got Sunshine. We've got Gully Wash. We've got Bagel. In Sunshine, Bagel, Gully Wash order, it's team named Cheesy Bread. It's their Finger. I fucked it all up. It's amateur semifinals, ladies and gentlemen. I fucked that up so hard, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the cast tonight. Before I even talk anymore and stick my fist in my mouth, because that's all I know how to do these days, I'm going to bring in my co-casters for tonight. We've got number 1 rocker. Rocker, how you doing tonight?
I'm excited. Yes.
Yeah. But we don't care about number 1 rocker. We've only got one person we want to talk about about this amateur semifinal team named Finger versus Insert Cheesy Bread, and it's TC Mono. TC Mono, how are we?
I am doing fantastic. Even better. Like, my day was already at let's say a 7 out of 10, and then just being here right now has instantly pumped it to a 10 out of 10. I am so ecstatic to be here. Hopefully it should be a good game. I know nothing about what is going on in amateur. I do have to let that be known, but hopefully we're in for a good time.
I think we will be in for a good time. The beauty of amateur TC Mono, and Rocker has learned this the hard way, is that you never really know what's going to happen. Sometimes you get some really, really good, fast, entertaining TF2 where it's like, wow, this team could very well not be an amateur team. And then you get moments where it's just like, oh, yeah, no, these are definitely AM teams. So we're hoping for a little bit of both tonight, and in the spirit of amateur playoffs, I had to fuck up my intro by saying a team named Cheesy Bread versus Insert Finger, but it's okay because that's the beauty and the joy of it. So I did play an AM this season, TC Mono. Can you believe that? I had my first ever season of combat on Soldier. I'm hanging up the meta gun. I've put the crossbow away, and now it's all about shooting rocket. Yeah, this guy. He thinks he knows what about me. But no, we're playing Soldier and feeding for fun. It's a lot of fun. So
You know what?
No, you go on.
I was just going to say respect, because, you and number 1 have spent too much time being locked behind the medigun, watching your teammates just ape themselves into oblivion, running full speed ahead without you. So it's time you guys have gotten onto the field and been able to deliver the 1-2 yourself.
I like it when my deaths matter. It's different.
That's true.
Yeah, this is true. I mean, I will say it is a lot of fun playing Soldier because you can just bomb in, and sometimes you get a lot of value. Sometimes you get no value, but that's okay. And it's forced me to think about how I call and how I help organize my team in the middle of the game differently, because it's not like being on med where I can just sit back and be like, yeah, you guys do this and you guys do that. I'm such a genius that I know what's going on. It has been a lot of fun, but it's been interesting. But that's enough about me. We got Insert Cheesy Bread and team named Finger, RGL Season 20 Amateur Playoffs Semifinal coming up here soon. So I'm going to run down some of these rosters. Yeah, I will send you Connect, by the way. I forgot to do that. That's my bad.
Oh, yeah, I was wondering. I'm watching your stream like, wait a second, I'm not in server.
Yeah.
This guy is in.
Sorry. Hey, listen, when you work for a living and you got to go to these places.
Blah, 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 Mr. Employed over here. Shut up. Stop bragging.
No, so they're saying in the chat, Serious Burb saying, Cheesy Bread asking for a reschedule, like, boss, I deadass sent them a message saying like, hey, can you guys reschedule to Thursday so we can get both playoff games on It's Just Jazz Real on Twitch.tv? And they both said no, both teams. So it's like, all right, well then, fuck off both of you guys. Said respectfully, of course. I'm going to run down these rosters of both teams to the best of my ability. So on team name Finger, they've got wow, none of these, they all have aliases. We'll just read it when they get into the server. How about that?
I have my name config on because I'm a professional.
No, I have my name config too. But listen, no, because I like I used to do the production on kind of like a semi-professional level. Shout outs Capping TV, and so I'd always like have my scene set up, which is why if you go on my Twitch stream, as many of you guys are, all 4 of you, however many people are watching the stream, you see this nice, beautiful view of the Sunshine Bell Tower with no HUD. That's because I like having the scenic view, but then I can easily just press my J button. And so we've got Connor on Scout. We've got Overpaid, that guy, on Soldier. We got Bonesy on Soldier. We got Aurelia on Demo. And we've got Taylor, Takewer, on Medic. That's all we know so far. Whereas on Insert Cheesy Bread, I know we're going to have 8-Bit. We're going to have Donye from Misery Business as their ringer. We're going to have Quap, Chinese Dave, Holden, and then their med is like some other player. Is it Toki? I don't think it's Toki. We'll figure it out in due course. It's amateur semifinals. That's what we're going for. Amateur semifinals, amateur production on Twitch.tv.
Well, I hope we're different than last week because that was one of the swings, Mono, is that it was an entertaining first map, and then by the second map it was getting to be a bit much, and then by the end we were all just miserable because it went to a 3-map series and it just dragged on and on. It was like a 50-minute map. Yeah.
You guys were miserable. I was having the time of my life because I thought it was so funny to hear you guys suffer.
Well, they were just throwing things at the wall after a while, you know? It's like Cheesy Bread was doing well, but then they just kept throwing bodies at problems, hoping that it would work. It did in the end. They beat Ringers in Paris, but I think they're going to need a lot more than that to beat Team Name Finger because they're undefeated. And they beat these guys on Metalworks during the season, so,
hey,
you know.
You guys aren't going to be able to hear it. Maybe you could like turn up the stream for a second. I'm going to play an alarm because I do have some breaking news. All right, stream, are we ready? I hope this is a good alarm. Oh no, this is the weather alert. Oh no. Emergency warning from the local weather station. There's a fucking tornado coming toward your house. Sorry.
Please go outside and check it out. It's pretty sick.
That's the wrong alarm. That's the wrong alarm. All right, let me try this one.
Get some first-hand knowledge of that tornado. Report back.
Let's go see what's up.
Yeah.
That's the McDonald's sound. Breaking news sound effect. There we go. Here we go.
Well, I guess we could just.
Oh, dude, this is awesome. All right, well, let me lock in. I'm locked in. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Is Just Jazz Real on Twitch.tv. I have breaking news. This is news coming in fresh from the Insert Cheesy Bread camp where 8-Bit, the pocket scout of Insert Cheesy Bread, has claimed his internet has just died. We will be following this news stories very closely. That might be the reason why this reschedule rumor was passed around in the Twitch chat. Back to you, Rocker and TC Mono.
I don't know if it's that innocent, man. Maybe he took an axe to his Ethernet cable outside. He was like, oh, no, man. We got to reschedule, guys. Whoa, crazy.
Yeah. You know, you can do the tactical rage quit, you know. Just, instead of disconnecting yourself, you unplug your internet so it shows that you timed out in server. So you'll never know.
I got to wait for Spectrum now. It's out of my hands. I don't know. There's just a wild axe wound on this cable in the ground. I don't know.
It's crazy. It is crazy. You're saying I rage quit because you just double air shot me? No. My internet went out, bro.
Raccoons with axes, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah, actually, they're out to get me.
Life's not out to get you, but raccoons with axes are.
Hey, what if? Because I have the STV for the other match too. What if we just threw it to that for a bit?
That's too ADHD for me, man.
That's too ADHD. That's the people,
Ew.
bro. Bloody the demo night from that team because there's a team in playoffs, TC Mono, who runs full time demo night, and he's actually
Yeah.
he's really fun to watch actually. He messaged me,
But he switched to regular demo though in the second map, and that was very lame.
Truth Nuke.
I'm just saying.
He didn't commit.
I
Get to
said,
the bit.
I told him, I said, send your STV in case the other game goes to 2 maps and you guys 3. He sends it. Very kind. Thank you, on controller. I say, my goat. And then he says,
He plays on controller?
that's what he said. That's what his name says. And I said, our match is going to be more interesting and more hyped up. And I said, yeah, but I haven't streamed Team Name Finger yet, so I'm giving them their flowers. And he said, all good. So...
Well, I wanted to watch them last time they were on because they were playing on Grenary. And it was ostensibly the better game.
Wait. Let me play the breaking news sound effect again. Hold on. We have breaking news coming in from the Insert Cheesy Bread camp in this RGL Semifinals playoff series of Season 20. 8-Bit, whose internet previously died, now has internet that is not dead, so the match will continue on as normal. TC Mono, number 1 rocker, back to you.
He should change classes to medic, because obviously he's been able to resuscitate something, so...
Cha-cha-cha.
Boo.
That's what we missed from TC Mono right there.
Listen, I gotta get back into the swing of things.
What people...
Yes, it's like riding a bike. It's okay.
No, what people don't realize, all the 20 people we have in chat, shout out to all the 20 people in the chat. Make sure you're following because we are going to be covering the grand finals next week on my stream, twitch.tv/isjustrazreal, which I am. Like, TC Mono's like Rocker and I, like, we're kind of like old and washed, and when people think of RGL and TF2 cast, like, they're not really going to think of us, but they're going to think of TC Mono. Like, they are going to think of TC Mono. This is the nation's number 1 guy. This is a national hero in the RGL casting TF2 scene. Like,
I checked out when you called me Wash, dude. I don't...
No, well, we weren't talking about you. We're talking about TC Mono. Talking about Thelonious. Sorry, TC, I didn't mean to say that, but he's got
That's what the TC stands for.
He's got a great first name. His parents
stands for.
His parents listened to way too much Thelonious Monk when they had poor TC in the womb, and we got to commit to the bit.
Well, you know what? Funnily enough, my name, when I was about to be born, they were like trying to decide on a name, and one of them was obviously Thelonious. The other one was Panther. And so they asked people like, "Oh,
Panther?
Panther, yeah." It was
like Panther with an H.
Yeah, Panther, Panther, Panther.
Oh,
like
Panther.
animal.
Oh, I thought you said Anther. I was like, huh?
No.
Okay, Panther. That's still pretty out there.
Yeah, it is very, very out there. So, and apparently people just didn't even acknowledge Panther as an option.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're naming him Thelonious. That's cool.
Oh, that's cool. It's crazy that you only have one name that you're deciding on.
You wanted to ask for my opinion, but it seems like you already found it. So
you just had the one. I don't know what you need my opinion for.
Yeah. So I'm very happy that they had some notes about that.
I like
recognize that.
I like that. It's like, what name will get our son bullied less? Thelonious or Panther?
I think Panther would get you into a metal band quicker. I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Thelonious is, I think, setting yourself up for greater musical success over the years, which apparently TC Mono has had a little bit, which is really cool. We love TC Mono on this stream. But that's enough about TC Mono. We got an amateur game we're going to be watching here soon.
Can we just talk about Mono for like 5 more hours?
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about TC Mango.
He's blushing.
We got to talk about the cat.
Quick shout outs to Bob Man is Cool Poop on Twitch for hitting that fat follow button. We love this guy. We love this guy, man.
Let's talk about this guy for a second. Yeah.
I'm curious what was just said in the chat.
ICB finna go Nerby mode on these frauds.
Hold up.
Huh.
That's a statement.
You know what?
That is a statement.
I'm one of these fellas. I'm kind of an anything goes type of guy. I'm an anything goes.
Yeah.
Type of guy.
Okay. Choose your next words carefully.
Within reason. Within reason.
Yeah.
Next words chosen carefully.
Even more carefully now.
I did choose them carefully. So we're just don't be totally stupid in the Twitch chat, please, ladies and gentlemen, because we've got RGL season 20 amateur semifinals. Yeah, Boba. Actually, you know what? I will allow that. You're welcome. You're welcome, Twitch chat.
Thanks, I hate it.
Oh, we're live.
We're live.
We're live.
Oh,
Let's
my
fucking
God.
go.
What?
Wait, we're playing TF2? Oh my god, that's right. Team Name Finger versus Insert Cheesy Bread. First map is Sunshine. This is the map pick of Team Name Finger, I do believe. And then we got Bagel next, obviously Cheesy Bread's pick. But on this first rollout, we're going to be watching Overpaid Rice Farmer sending out the spam here, trying to find a way in, taking some beam off of his med here. Sees a scout on Red Tetris, is going to aggress. Stop the aggression. Actually, all of Red Team by their Tetris, getting jumped in the meantime. And it's a bit of a weird rotational mid. Relapse in on the med, gets the pick. Demo down as well for both teams, actually, and the med. And now it's just a scramble between the scouts and the soldiers here. It looks like it's going to be between Danye and Cop versus Just Connor with the health advantage technically, but height advantage certainly not. And now he's getting chased down by Danye, but both on pretty equal health. And he could take him down if they're not careful. And Connor does get the one, but Quap with the height advantage, the health, and the point, and the, well, just a pistol 90 LG, there we go. Craters or Killbines, but Team Name Finger gonna lose that first mid after a valiant effort from Connor, though. Yeah, what do you think about that, Mango?
I thought it was a really great explosive action, but it seems like they were trying to see if they could peek in onto middle, but Team Name Finger is just going to back up and have to be content with holding onto second. But it's just kind of scrappy after the end, both medics going down there, Holden and how do you say that? Tay1KR? Doesn't matter. Soldier Bomb coming in on the Tay1KR. It's going to be a little bit of a easy serve from him to be able to stay alive, and that is going to be the two-man failing from ICB.
But Overpaid Rice Farmer on the counter, I guess, goes down just as quick. But I mean, this is still feasible. They're peeking in. Demo's in. Oh, actually, the stickies from Chinese Dave going to take down Bonzi. So down both soldiers, and we're kind of in a mirror of the situation that we just seen. But now it's Insert Cheesy Bread with the man advantage, but a whole lot of stickies waiting for them as they walk through that choke. So it looks like they're going to opt to go through Valley as the Uber just now comes up onto Holden. Tay just now coming up onto hers. Quap over the top rope on top of Rice Farmer, and a huge rocket going to take him out early in this fight here. Dropping the demo. Actually, Team Name Finger going to be in a little bit of trouble here. Down players, they pop out the Uber first. Holden's still holding on to his, and they're on the completely wrong side of second here. They don't have their second kept up. I'm looking at the map completely wrong here. And so Cheesy Bread actually winning that. I was like so confused, like how do they go around each other? But I just don't even know how to play the game. I'm rusty. But we have a Pyro coming out in last, but already Cheesy Bread on that last point, putting out the pressure. And now with their fresh Uber going off, it's going to be all but certain that they get this last point here. Pyro goes down, Noma reflects, and the rest of Team Name Finger will follow. And first point on the board in under 3 minutes for Cheesy Bread. Looking good.
Yeah, it is looking really, really good. Gotta say, very impressed by the soldier work on Cheesy Bread, Quap, and Relapse. I think it was Quap going in, getting that opening pick onto second, and managing to stay alive as well, which is kind of a key thing for soldiers a lot. You know, maybe get in, make the space, or maybe get that one kill, but then immediately die themselves. And being able to stay alive and being able to recommit with your team is so, so useful. But we go in onto the second mid. Going to be watching the soldiers in it, because last time, seems like it was TNF that started things off. Eyes on, it's actually going to be Cop once again going around, going to be landing onto the demo, but on the other side of things, everyone on the ICB, the whole combo, getting absolutely mulched. And it's only going to be Quap left alive, and he is going to go down to a nice rocket, so it seems like TNF have found their form and are in good position to try and equalize the scores.
Yeah, good response after getting a little bit out of sorts there on that second. They completely wipe Insert Cheesy Bread, and I was watching Relapse there, try to go for the med, but it didn't pay out. But team still, actually, I'm getting these teams mixed up. I don't know what it is. Team Name Finger won that one. Relapse tried to salvage, couldn't. And yeah, now pushing into last here with a full Uber advantage. Holden just now coming up on 50. The pop out early, going to send it really around the corner. Gets a scout 8-bit before he can go back into the spawn. Gun goes down, and now it's just a matter of cleaning off this point while the soldiers duke it out. Cleo going to start the cap, but gets rocked by whatever stickies were left here. Quap going to jump up and get the demo in the meantime. Connor still causing havoc with Overpaid Rice Farmer, and now it's even numbers here. A goes down for Team Name Finger, and now it's just Bonazy, and it's a reverse wipe for Team Name Finger and Cheesy Bread holding on. I don't know why I'm getting these teams mixed up.
I don't know either. Maybe you've got a
It was Jazz. He messed me up in the beginning, and I'm thinking of insert finger. In
Yeah, I
Cheesy
said
team.
my insert cheesy finger, whatever I said in the intro. Listen, RGL season 20 amateur playoffs live. I don't know what else to say.
We are live on the third mid of the first map. No, wait, actually, no, we're not. That wasn't even a... Jesus Christ, dude, I'm all out of sorts here. Insert Cheesy Bread taking back the mid. A successful Uber used off here, but Bonazy the only one to go down for Team Name Finger. But Cheesy Bread gonna cap that point back and continuing the aggression. I gotta get myself oriented here. Rice Farmer actually getting caught out in Cafe here, so that's an easy pick and an unwanted death surely on the 20-second respawn timer. So they go back and collect that kill. Yeah, go for it.
Not going to be ideal for Team.
Oh, no.
But actually, really great stuff from Aurelia to get that pick onto 8-bit,
too hard.
So that is going to slow them down just a little bit. And ICB, they were trying to get a bit aggressive there, but they actually didn't have Uber advantage. It's going to be TNF with Uber advantage. You can already see Connor working his way through Cafe. Quap is there just to maybe get the early read. They've spotted him out, so he is going to have to try and jump out to safety. Didn't get the force, though, so it looks like TNF should be able to get at least middle for free without having to use Uber or lose anyone. And if they go quickly, they can't really get in onto second because Holden already has 100%. But if they do go quickly, they can maybe try and go for some type of force play onto Holden before all the defensives are set up for ICB.
Yeah, you can hit him with the old off timing. It's in the name here. Bonazy going to be peeking in from Cafe. Going to run right into Quap, though. See how the 1v1 goes in the meantime. Nope, Bonazy going to lose that one here. Relapse going to pressure the rest of TNF out of Valley, and so it's a bit of a reset. Non-successful sack, but still holding on, and looks like Cheesy Bread kind of wants to go. They're going with that despite the... Oh, actually, they just lose their demo. Rice Armor takes out Chinese Dave right as they decide to go, and that's going to put the brakes right on that one. And a long spawn as well, 22 seconds, and TNF going to go in with the momentum here and the no sticky traps. Relapse over the top, on top of the med here. Used off, so a good force here, but they're going to lose 3 for a Cheesy Bread. Going to have to retreat. Holden still holding on to that Uber, but yeah, fight firmly. One might know they're peeking back out. Cheesy Bread going to go with the dual scout chariot setup, and they're using out extremely early. They get Aurelia, but the rest of TNF scattering, and they're going to chase really deep into choke here, but they could get crunched if they're not careful, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Overpaid Rice Armor coming in from lower with the bomb in, and actually this is looking a little bit clustered here. This could go one way or the other, and TNF actually bungles that one. And Connor, does he get air shot? No, it gets scattered out of the air by Danye. But now it's just Cleo left alive, gonna get the kill onto Danye, but gonna retreat with 16 HP and a bit of a beefed push there from TNF.
Yeah, Cleo actually gonna be able to get one in the dying stages of that fight, but yeah, a little bit beef. Cleo actually wanting more and was really close to getting it. Chinese Dave taken down very, very low, but is likely going to be able to stay alive. And I think it is probably just going to reset here. ICB going to remain on their second, and TNF still trying to push in onto it. It seems like actually Bonzi going to be able to make in for an early play onto Holden, not going to find any damage or really any space there. Kind of went for a very weird path through the straight middle of the second point, which you don't see all too often, but you know, trying to get in quick, I understand. Seems like they are going to at least try and counter. Oh, Quap did a lot of damage on the demo, but not enough to take down Aurelia. So I think with trades either way, it is going to reset. And it's once again going to be TNF to try and get some momentum going.
And more to the point, I'm surprised that TNF held on to mid. They almost completely wiped here. Cleo is the only one keeping pressure on to keep the positioning here and back off Cheesy Bread. Well done by him. Bonesy up off the spawn, and once again just jumping into 2 scouts and a demo. Not even getting close there. Holding well at the plat in time. And yeah, back to square one with this one here, but they're going to have to start thinking of something different entirely because they got 90 seconds here. It looks like ICB on the very obvious rotate through Cafe, caught out by Rice Armor, just waiting above now, going to jump down. Actually fades out and gets a little bit of scatter for his trouble. Relapse on the chase. And now a bit of a Tetris fight here, just waiting to pop off the Ubers here. Very bad health from Cheesy Bread, but the first Uber popped out from TNF. And they, oh yeah, no, they did Uber out, but, ooh, Holden could go down here in the end here, but Cheesy Bread just very weak, and a successful hold once again by TNF. 8-bit going to be the no, actually Chinese Dave the latest to go down, and now it's just Relapse going for the sack play, and no salvage whatsoever, and a wipe from Cheesy Bread, and Team Name Finger going to roll into second. Very confident hold the last 3 minutes or so.
Yeah, really, really great stuff from Team Name Finger. They should be able to just immediately walk in, and they are going to do so. Have to take down the Sentry Gun, which is only in its infancy. And now they are going to get a little bit of respawners on ICB. You can see Ashley Taylor kind of disconnected from Aurelia, might go down, but no, a scout comes in to take the heat. Connor is going to die instead of their demo, so TNF are going to be able to escape without too much damage. They are still going to have uber advantage to use with onto last, but we're just going to have to wait until they get all the respawners. Crucially for ICB, they're able to defend and buy themselves a little bit more time to get all their defensives perfectly in place, but they have to expect this push coming in from TMNF in a couple of moments.
Yeah, no, I respect the drive fight there. You got to go for it if the positioning was there, and they absolutely try to seize the opportunity. But with that uber advantage, yeah, they're going to do exactly what they're doing. They back out, come back in, about 75 for Holden. They just got to hold on for dear life, Cheesy Bread. But the sticks around the back of the point from Aurelia. Just putting some pressure here now. A bit of a standoff here. The crunch trying to come in from overpaid rice farmer, but he's caught out. A bit of rage on the point here. Aurelia caught out. A bunch of chaos behind the point here. And now TNF looking like a bit of a failed push, especially with that demo dead. Relapse goes down, but the Uber popped off by Holden, and now it's just going to be used to collect the last of these frags here. Just Bonesy and Cleo. Cleo survives, escapes through dungeon, but a successful asshole from Cheesy Bread, and a bit of a slug match over the second and last point here.
Yeah, I think unfortunately for Team Name Finger, they went in on the right side from their perspective, top right. But the problem is they just stay on that top right side. They don't really cross over towards the left and try and meet ICP there, and it just makes it really hard for whoever's on the flank, overpaid rice farmer in that instance, to be able to get in. Not a lot of space there, so hopefully Team Name Finger are going to be able to rectify that and be able to kind of identify those mistakes. But so far, it's still not too bad. They are down one round, but still in control of mid, so in a good position to try and go forward. They are at slight uber disadvantage. I don't know if ICB are going to be confident enough to do anything with it. Seems like they are. They're going Valley. They might be in a pause.
And there's a pause.
So this means one of two things. Either those stickies completely get them, or TNF wipes and they need the tech. Actually, no, it could be a tech, because 8-Bit, as we know, has been having raccoons with axes problems. So it could be related to that. They do have a sub backed up, but either way, interesting to speculate. I do like the timing on this. They do, I guess, recognize that they have advantage. But if it doesn't work, we've seen, like last week, ICB is no stranger to banging their head against the wall until one of them breaks. So I think we're in for a long series either way, but this is a good start, you know, for something beautiful. Maybe close out the map before 30 minutes, but I don't know, Mango. What do you make of all this so far?
I think it's been pretty good. Very back and forth. Seems like there's been a little bit of trouble pushing last for TNF, Team Named Finger, but at least in the mean point, I've been very impressed actually by the soldiers for the most part. To be fair though, that is kind of a staple, I'd say, of especially lower level TF2. You know, the scouts aren't as good as your top level scouts. You know, they can't just instantly do 200 million damage from you from across the map and stuff your jump every single time. The lower levels of TF2 are a little bit more soldier favored in general, so not too surprised to see some really great kind of like soldier initiation coming out from both all four soldiers really. Rice Farmer, Bonzi, Relapse, and Quap, I would have to say. And it's also a little bit easier to identify, because when you see a soldier jump in, it's either going to be a whole lot of something or a whole lot of nothing. And so far, it's been a whole lot of something on most of these plays.
Yeah, that was the one thing I was actually kind of surprised, because I feel like it's the opposite when it comes to lower divs, because you have a lot of beginners, right? And they don't quite have the mechanics down. So yeah, I'm actually quite surprised at the efficacy of these soldier plays and the speed of it as well. I was playing with Jazz actually the other week, playing flank scout, and I just got completely caught off guard with how fast the soldiers were getting to mid, and especially going for the sack. I just wasn't ready for that speed of the game at the amateur division. I don't know, but I guess it's the changing times. You know, a lot of people probably grind the mechanics before they even get into competitive. So
you see, a lot of people think that AMTF2 is like slow and quote unquote methodical. Like, not, the game actually moves at a pretty quick pace. The problem is that the ability for those teams to coordinate with each other across like a 30-minute game is not as good. But the match is back on. Take it away, TC Mango.
The match is indeed back on. The Uber has come out from ICB. It's been able to get a couple of players. There's still one in behind. It is going to be Bonzi just jumping around, trying to go for the back cap. Probably not going to outcap 6 people standing on the point, especially without the pain train. So they are going to know that there is someone back there, so they're just going to go forward, recognizing that they've got insane player advantage. A bomb comes in from Relapse, trying to get on to take her. Not going to be able to take them down, so it seems like they're just going to have to come back. Bonzi on the point, kind of threatening another back out, just being a nuisance for as long as possible, and actually buying a lot of space for everyone else on TNF to get in. And now coming back, oh my god, Bonzi getting a 3K in Cafe. That behind play working out beautifully, and that is what you want to see when you have a soldier in behind.
Well, we were just talking about the soldiers, and there it is. And actually, because of that play, I think we owe it to him to actually know how to say his name, because I was thinking about it, I was reading it. I think it's Bonesy is what it is. So that, Taylor, and you were right, Mango. It was Taylor. I was trying to decipher that one, but it's funny. My name is Leetspeak, but anytime I see a Leetspeak name, I can't ever do it. But an Uber popped up in the meantime by Team Name Finger while we're trying to figure out names here. And it looks like a successful last push if results hold here. Could be the first point, making it 1-1 here in a mid-air kill on Adanye from Connor, who's just absolutely popping off the scout combo from Team Name Finger, putting in work. And yeah, there you go, 1-1, and there was the pause. It actually was attack after the 1-1, so Insert Cheesy Bread probably a little bit rattled off of that. They've been successfully holding, but now Team Name Finger on the board.
Yep, you know, I kind of like to see that from Cheesy Red, because I think teams don't use attack pause as often as they should. You know, we're all ancient here, at least in the casting booth. You guys a little bit more so than me, but even I remember when the halftime was guaranteed in 5CP and in King of the Hill. You don't have that anymore, so you have to make your own halftime and moments to adjust here. On the next mid, Bonzi coming in. Oh my god, he gets immediately onto Holden Bonesy. However it is going to be doing a lot of damage, putting them into a world of hurt. Question is, can Taylor stay alive? Currently on the point, trying to meet up with a soldier, but Relapse is going to be able to take them down. TNF should be able to win this. It's only going to be 2 versus 1. Danye hiding out over in the enemy side valley, trying to see if maybe he could chip off a player, but I think that they know basically where they are.
Yeah.
Leo just shooting some rockets over there, and overpaid Rice Farmer is going to be able to spot them out. So that's going to be a good mid-win for TNF. Question is, can Danye do what Bonesy did previously and get something huge for their squad?
We saw it last week. Danya is capable of some pretty crazy fragging, but yeah, it seems like it's a tough match because once again, Bone Name Finger, team name, these team names, golly, I thought my team name was stupid, but Team Name Finger on the board, they're looking good. They're the undefeated team in AM. So yeah, some stiff competition to be expected, and once again, Cheesy Bread through the valley with the Uber. A lot less successful this time. Actually, no, they get both the soldiers. Clear taking the 1v1 out of the Uber, but Danya does get cleaned up, but that is mid-capped for Cheesy Bread, and still 3 dead for Team Name Finger. This could be a nice little roll here if they continue on, but it seems like they're contentious. Actually, no, I don't even know how to read Ubers. That's why they pumped the brakes, because Taylor is just now coming up on Uber. So they may only have 3 players, but they have invulnerability, so they're going to make them earn it. And ICB respecting the Uber, they come in all together, checking the sticky traps as well. So yeah, being as diligent as ever. 8-Bit taking the initiation from Bonesy onto Plat. Connor answering back though, and this could, wow, they're just scrambling back. They fear. They're jumping right back into Cafe out to mid. Team Name Finger showing some aggression, intimidation.
Yeah, I think from Cheesy Bread, they had the right idea. They were just a little bit too slow. They had the player advantage, and they had a lot of space. TNF were giving them a lot of space on second, but they just got in right at the moment where all the respawners from TNF were coming out. So it was just the worst opportunity, and now this Uber that they were so fearful of is proving to provide dividends for TNF. They do have a player in behind. No, scratch that. 8-Bit gets immediately deleted, so they do not have a player in behind to worry about. It's only going to be Quap and Chinese Dave on last for the meantime. And you can already see Connor trying to peek in, get a little bit of space, and the bomb comes in on the Chinese Dave, going to be able to take down the demo. Soldier dead as well. Connor on a 6 for the moment. Already on a little bit of cap time as well for TNF, and they're looking to make this 2-1. Bombing in. They do get a little bit of respawners on ICP. Can they hold this? I have seen it happen before, and with a few going down, and Taylor now in no man's land is going to die trying to escape through dungeon. It seems like they have been able to do something a little bit miraculous there.
Yeah, seriously, considering the fact that in their last Uber TNF they got Holden when he was at 91, not able to get out. So it seemed like it was a surefire thing. No med, no Uber on last, just rolling. Even if he not got it, you could dry fight that. They've proven themselves capable. But despite that, ICB holds on for dear life with the spawners. And yeah, I thought they were going to collapse in that last fight because they were going to get the Uber, but it happened later than I thought it would. But either way, a familiar sight. TNF on mid, Cheesy Bread on their second.
Oh,
Holden getting.
Oh my god!
Oh. The spy not even needed. Actually, not even needed, but gets the frags anyway. It was the stickies that dropped Holden instead. So a nice sticky trap. Gonna open this wide for Teammate Finger to roll in, but a bit slow in the transition. Danye spots an opening. Relapse, and yeah, that's a bit of a salvage there. Very nicely done. I think Relapse is the king of salvage, especially considering last week as well. But yeah, a bit caught up there, and TNF stymied. Bit of decision paralysis, it would seem, after a nice little 1-2 from Danye and Relapse.
Yep, now ICB in a good position to go forward. They have heals advantage because Taylor is still rolling out, but they are taking their time, and I think they are just gonna end up stalemating at least for a little bit on second, trying to build. Chinese Dave with the katana out, trying to do as much building as possible to try and get that Uber advantage as big as they possibly can. And they're looking at around about 30% at the moment, so definitely workable if they go quickly. Question is, are they going to be able to find anything with this? They're going to be going through Cafe. There is a soldier above. Overpaid Rice Farmer should be having the early read, but is going to get bombed and might fall. Is going to fall. Nice stuff from Quap, immediately spotting that one out. Bonesy getting a little bit of damage, not straight into the med, but that is amazing hold from Holden, proving his name to be ring true at the moment, holding on to it. So they're going to be able to have this Uber and go even a little bit further.
Yeah, indeed, and 13 HP, but his team was all in front of him, and it was just that one guy. Good situational read from Holden, popping off that Uber, and it's an exchange on the second, down a soldier each. I'm on the Holden cam, and it's going to fade out near Cafe. Demo is isolated in choke, and they're going to go back in with the aggression, try to get the demo, but the soldiers come in and finish off the damage, but it is a miscalculation if ever there was one. Holden just barely skirting by that rocket, but they're coming through choke to cut him off, and there we go. That med is not going to get away. Cleo gets the kill on the med, Connor gets the kill on the Chinese Dave, but Danya cleans up Cleo, but TNF still rumbling and bumbling through mid here. The fight over Bell Tower sees Relapse going into Valley there, and it's another pause, and speculation once again whether it's attack or attack, but either way, very nice re-aggression from TNF. They are absolutely just butchering ICB on these repushes here. And I mean, ICB, I think they're a little bit afraid here, especially, I mean, I get it. They lost their pocket scout on Platt. They backed out immediately. That's sort of what you do, but they were so far committed. You know, so I'm wondering if maybe they're a little bit fearful of just racking up this score against them and making it harder for themselves to dig out. And so they're just playing really passive now.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a consideration. Hopefully, if you are ICB, you're going to be able to ideally remedy that. The other thing I think that's happening, at least that happened on that push, is that Holden made the decision to not flash Chinese Dave in that Uber. So Dave had to go all the way back out and wasn't really there for it. And then in that post-Uber fight, it was only one soldier trying to capitalize on the damage that the scout was doing. And it just wasn't enough. If there was maybe a demo there, they could have won it. But, you know, that's all a lot of ifs, whats, and maybes. What's happening right now is an Uber coming in from TNF. Danye is going to die early on. Centrigun taken down as well. Holden going to be just corralled up into this 1 point. Everyone on ICP just in that one zone. Maybe easy pickings for TNF. Nice market gardener kill as well from Rice Farmer onto Relapse. And that is going to spell the third round going to TNF. 2-1 is the score. And slowly but surely, the team named Finger getting a grip on Sunshine.
That's one way of putting it. And with this performance, I can see now why they had the confidence to play on Granary in playoffs. Like, what team do you see that in amateur, you know? And so they're looking really good. I mean, actually, a bit of a beef here from Taylor on the roll. Going to be extremely slow. A bit of lag, I guess. Running into the doorway. I just happened to catch that. And that's where the pause was. It wasn't the tac pause. It was actually a tech pause, but for the medic this time. So rolling out to the fourth mid, and I do have the number of mids correct this time. Going to be seeing Pop going in off the top rope on the Taylor. Relapse not far behind, but that's going to leave Holden extremely exposed, and Chinese Dave going to go down as well. So team named Finger down both soldiers, but they do have the combo intact. Connor going to jump in now here and get Taylor the pack in Valley here, but they're on the wrong side of mid here. And this is not the position you want to be in. I remember Grape Juice telling me specifically, you do not want to end on their side of mid on the mid fight. And now they're going to have to break their way out with this Uber here. And it's going to be a bit of a wasted Uber here. Hold just now coming up. And this mid fight is just dragging out. Insert Cheesy Bread does get it. And they sort of just let Team Name Finger have it. I mean, I guess they're fighting with their spawners, but I would have thought they would have initiated so that their team could follow up in the chaos here. But the pop is going to come out first for Taylor. The re-aggression on the Holden, who is not far enough out of choke at all. Getting pressured by the rest of TNF, and his team all die, and he's got 30% Uber. I guess they popped off to get out of there. I don't even know. But once again, TNF just being brutal on these pushes.
Yeah, that was a very interesting call from Cheesy Bread, like you said, to just kind of give up mid when they were in a way more advantageous position. But because of it, they are now in a very disadvantageous position. They are on their last. Luckily, they do have roundabout even Uber, a little bit of ad actually, over Team Name Finger. So they don't have to worry about a push in just immediately. But considering, you know, it's 2-1, you go down another 3-1, suddenly that lead looks a little bit more insurmountable if you are Cheesy Bread. But of course, if you are them, you still got an opportunity to try and hold. They got Danye up on the engineer, having a little bit of troubles living and not immediately dying to the Uber whenever it comes in. So I would ideally like to see him stay alive and not die on Engie, being able to re-come up back on heavy or something like that. But TNF just going to be healing up over in lobby, distributing the heals, maybe get a nice idea of where the sentry gun is, where the defenses are. They take down the dispenser, so they're making plans and making progress, but we need to see a little bit more from them before their push.
Yeah, and just a pretty standard hold here, slowing down the roll a bit for both teams here. Both have Uber, so mutual respect coming out here. I don't really like the way that ICB is holding their med here. I prefer to hold closer to the wall, but both soldiers just holding that doorway with the sentry right where it is, but does get the demo, goes down in the end, but those are two picks that you do not want to see if you're TNS, so they're going to back out here. Maybe a chance to peek out a bit. Chinese Dave is giving a little looky-loo. Is going to take that opportunity to set up some forward traps and try to get the sniper peek through shutter maybe, but that's a bit of a reach if you ask me. So TNF going to come back with their spawners. Gonna have 2.5 minutes on the round timer, and just another reset. We have seen some flexibility out of TNF. They do know how to off class, so that is a factor that they'll have to contend with, and not just think, oh, they're just sending another useless sack. So something to watch out for. But TNF keeping that pressure up. Bonesy spotting out the soldiers on the left from his perspective. Cleo looking like he wants to peek through dungeon. No, just wants to go for the Rap Assassin. Useless weapon if you ask me. But yeah, no, getting some good pressure here. Really a peeking in. Gonna try to get some stickies on that gun, but the counter spam is just too much, and actually the rockets and the hit scan from the sentry also has something to say about it as well. But yeah, no, just trying to eke an advantage out, minute 50, and yeah, pretty standard stuff here. Good hold from ICB, but not optimal.
Yep, pretty good hold, but if you are them, you know, that's all you need to do if TNF aren't really stacking, which they aren't really. It seems like they're trying to get maybe eyes on the sentry gun, but it's not working out. Now here comes overpaid Rice Farmer. Actually takes down Chinese Dave. That's going to be a really great opening. No demo, no stickies on any of these doorways for anyone to have to worry about. I would love to see Bonesy maybe try and take advantage of that fly in as well, or see if they can take a little bit of space, but at least for the moment, they're going to be content to just try and play it slow. They're doing really great to take down the sentry gun. Actually, Aurelia going to get credit for that, but I do hear a headshot ring out, I think onto Bonesy actually. He's going to get re-healed. He's going to try and jump in, immediately denied actually by Holden with the arrow. So they tried to do something there, didn't end up working out. Unfortunate for TNF, and they've got maybe one more sack attempt if they go immediately before they'd have to go for an Uber exchange, considering there is only 40 seconds left before a round reset.
Yeah, I think TNF is extremely patient.
Oh my god.
And ICB is extremely willing to go as long as it takes for the map to end. So
you see what I see, number one?
Oh, do I? Oh, the heavy. They're going to go for the exchange with the heavy.
Oh yeah, let's see how this works out. Ideally, the heavy comes in late game, is able to mow down all these weak players. Let's see if they're going to be able to execute that. But there is a counter heavy 8-bit on the heavy as well, so we're going to have some very rarely seen heavy v heavy action. Currently at the moment, seems like ICP and maybe in a little bit of worse position, but can anyone get to the point in time? It's going to go to overtime. No one can get there, and it is going to be a stalemate. as a team named Finger going to stumble and fail, trying to push in onto last this time.
And a couple of clutch stickies there, gets 2 fractured Chinese Dave, prevents that from just careening into failure there, and just absolute catastrophe for ICB. They do get the reset, which again, they are happy playing 2 hours straight of 6v6, you know, as long as it doesn't go to 5-0. But yeah, no, TNF keeping up that pressure, but they'd have to convert and make something of it, but not able to do that. Going out to technically the 5th mid now. Bonesy crushing 8-bit on that Tetris here. Quap getting scattershotted out of the sky, but slaps Connor in the face with the rocket. They're both extremely weak. Holding gonna go down. Danye, 8-bit, Quap, but now it's just Relapse left alive, getting overpaid Rice Farmer. Taylor goes down in the chaos at one point there. So a successful salvage, but ICB, a wipe is not what you want to see, even if you get the mid though.
Yep. Could be a little bit better, but, you know, some silver linings there as well. So it is going to be team name Finger pushing in onto second. Bonesy trying to go in almost immediately for a second attempt is not going to find anything. Chinese Dave going to be able to get the kill credit for that one, but that's not going to stop TNF taking control of second and trying to figure out some way to once again push in onto ICB's last time. Not as successful, but Cleo has come up on Sniper. Seems like their answer to that dilemma is to send someone onto an off class, and we'll have to see how that works out for them.
I guess CNF said, fuck this stalemate shit. We're going to actually go for it this time. Just not even going to, like, die. We're just going to have the guy go back to spawn. Reminiscent of Chill, actually. Shout out to Chill. But, yeah, 8-bit is just aggressive and gets Cleo, gets the Sniper, just walks into the face of 4 players and says, nah, I'd win. And does. Huge. So Sniper just completely off the board for the time being. That walk back to last just wasted time. We're back to the spawn here, and semi-successful jump in from Bonesy, gets Holden down, but not enough rockets in the clip there, so gonna limp back with 57 HP to the resup. 8-bit up on Sniper, and Cleo actually not deterred or daunted, comes right back out of that spawn, and Sniper says, you know, things happen, you know, it was a fluke. I got this, please, trust me.
You know, to be fair, they didn't have too much time to take any shots, so I think it's warranting at least one more attempt there. Cleo just going to be looking over into Dungeon, is going to get spotted out, and now going to be rotating over onto the left side from their perspective, and going to be a little bit of an SVS with 8-bit. Let's see who's going to be able to get the better of each other. Just for the moment, just going to be looking down the sidelines, and it is going to be 8-bit getting the better of Cleo, so that is going to put an end to that battle. Everyone on TNF just going to be backing out of lobby for the meantime before they get their respawner and Cleo up, and they have enough time, again, where if they do want to go for a very quick sack, maybe send in one of their soldiers, they definitely can, and still have time to go for a Uber exchange like they did last time, but seems like they got Cleo up on Sniper once again, and honestly, if they go for the Uber exchange, and then Cleo manages to find a space where, you know, they're not being shot out and they just have free reign to shoot heads, it could work out. Just if you do that, you're relying a lot on Cleo to hit the shots, but we still have to see what TNF decide to do here.
Well, they're going to have to take down that gun first. Oh, wait, I'm looking at the wrong timer here. I'm just all befuddled. There's actually 30 seconds still Banny time, so it's going to be first to 3 here if results hold, if not first to 4. But yeah, Sniper's still up, and that was technically a second scope from 8-bit, so I can see why Cleo was like, nah, that doesn't count, because he came out right as his soldier peak and he shot off. But yeah, 8-bit right behind and able to get the second. I'm counting it as the second scope. I don't know, man. What else would you call that? I don't know anything about. Oh, there we go. SVS. Cleo finally. Best 2 out of 3, but overpaid Rice Farmer also gets schwacked. So yeah, the Snipers not taking each other out, but they're taking out the teammates. But not really what you need right now, because, you know, well, actually, if you take them all down, you know, like a serial killer just stalking them, I mean, yeah, that could do something. Maybe make them a little bit more afraid, but not exactly impact. That translates into rounds on the board here. Still popping off shots, though. 8-bit not to be dissuaded. Relapse getting some nice pressure with these rockets here. Going to back out TNF from that to their perspective, left side. Lower side? I don't know. But yeah, 30 seconds until the reset, and I don't really know if you want to be on a sniper if you're TNF here for the post Uber, but he's going to take a peek through lower. Oh, really gets slapped down before he even jumps with the Uber. And an exchange attempt coming out from TNF, but yeah, actually, I believe gets a kill on the demo late here. This could be huge. 5 seconds, some time on the point, and yeah, wow, just like that, Team Name Finger make it 3-1. Wow, really nice last push. Huh.
Yeah, really nice last push coming out from Team Name Finger. Some crucial shots from Cleo. I mean, that one, like you said, onto the demo, definitely opening things up, and it was just a little bit better of a post fight for TNF as well. So that is going to be the first map going their way. I think you did say number one. Correct me if I'm wrong. That this was their map pick.
Yeah, this is Team Name Finger's map
Yep.
pick.
So if you are, then insert cheesy bread. There's still potential for you there. You know, you still have your map pick, and I don't know how specialized these teams are, but to be fair, Sunshine is a pretty universal map. So you know, maybe a little bit of hard times ahead, but there's still potential for them, I think, in this best of three.
Sunshine is definitely a backbreaker of a map. You know, either your team's good at it or it's not. And in my case, we were not exactly the best at it. It's never been my strong suit in general either. I don't like Sunshine. You know, I think if a map needs 20 iterations to get it right, it probably shouldn't be a map. But anyway, that notwithstanding,
You want a map to have 21 iterations. You think
yeah,
it's too low.
yeah, I want the blackjack of TF2 maps.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, looking at these stats here, pretty one-sided, all things considered, for TNF. But I mean, it sort of was reflected in the match. I think this is a match where it is reflected in the stats. You know, it's not one of those you had to be there. But no drops, good build times from both meds. Slight advantage for most charges goes to Taylor. But you're looking at these frags, though. Aurelia fragged out, damage per minute as well, and kind of middling from ICB. 8-bit outstanding as the pocket scout, but you kind of expect that. But this is their map pick on Bagel. I mean, if you want to keep talking about the stats, I don't think there's really much to glean from that.
No,
You want to move it on?
Not too much to glean. Just looking at it, yeah, like you said, Aurelia top damaging. And if there was too much to glean, I don't know these players' aliases, so it wouldn't matter too much. Anyways, like who is Boba T's waterproof mascara? I don't know who that is, so I'm not I'm not gonna try and figure that one out.
I'm gonna guess that's Cop.
Cop.
And then, or no, wait, I got that backwards. No, I think Boba Tihi's is Relapse. Hog Bomb is Quap.
Oh. Okay. I like that analysis. We did some analysis there.
Yeah, it's called blind conjecture. But either way,
analysis.
okay, I guess you got me there. But speaking of analysis, we are going into Bagel, the map pick of Cheesy Bread. They struggled a bit against Ringers in Paris for the first 2 rounds on this. It was their map pick last week, but they did rally and then eventually come back to it. And if you're picking Bagel, it has to be for a reason. Typically with Koth, if you're picking Koth in a playoffs, you're picking it for a reason. And if you're banning, you're banning it, because why wouldn't you ban Koth? Anyway, so I'm assuming they had this in their back pocket for a reason. Bit of a slow start last week. Maybe they've adjusted in the scrim since then, but I would be very surprised if you don't go to a 3rd map. And you know me, I'm 3rd map rocker, man. Just make it happen. Just don't bore me to tears to get there, I guess.
3rd map rocker. You know, that's his name. Thought it was number 1. You were wrong. 3rd map rocker. I have to trust your judgment, because I was not as fortunate to be able to see ICB on Bagel. I do have to say, it makes sense that they chose Bagel. You know, cheesy bread. You can have a cheesy bagel, so I guess kind of sticking to a theme there a little bit. I will also say that every time I say ICB, I'm always thinking of ICP, Insane Clown Posse, every single time.
Juggalos rise up.
Yeah, exactly.
Where's your hatchet, man?
Listen, you know, maybe if ICB win, we get some ICP on stream. I don't know if that's doable.
It's entirely possible. It's entirely possible.
They're all wearing face paint.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had somebody kidnapped live on stream at one point.
What the fuck?
Yeah, shout out Slugnuts and Wang, because that was one of the top 10 capping TV moments of all time. I'll pull up the clip later. It was funny. It was funny. Trust me, it was funny.
Okay, it was funny.
It was funny. It was funny. It wasn't, it wasn't like a
We
real
were
kidnapping.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were laughing.
Exactly.
I don't know. He's getting kidnapped. I didn't see.
He had bag over his head. Maybe he was laughing.
Yeah, I didn't go to the
Sounded like
second
Frank.
location. They tell you not to go to the second. Why would I go?
I know what's there. I'm definitely not going.
Man, I'm gonna have to find. I'm gonna have to find that moment. I'll find the moment. You guys keep talking.
Yeah, just play it in a corner, like fucking Subway Surfers. while we're
Yeah,
done.
yeah.
On repeat. With audio.
With of course. You should do a for the next task. You should do like the what is it? The golden ratio.
Yeah.
But just like every smaller square is just like something different, so you can keep people's attention spans indefinitely. You know.
Oh, I found it. I'm gonna put it on the stream real quick. Hold on.
Right. Yeah. That's why we tune in. It is Just Jazz Real on Twitch.tv. Make sure you subscribe and follow, because we're going to be here next week for the grand final, if you can believe it. So keep it locked right here while we wait to get this clip up of Jazz committing a felony.
I wasn't committing the felony. I did not have any involvement in the kidnapping. But here we go.
Wang for always coming through for me and letting me use his setup today, man. For you.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
That looks so real, though.
He's being back the drag.
He just got taken.
Camera, nothing. Fucking protein powder in the back or whatever.
Yeah. Last remains.
Bro, that
a
was
jar of protein powder.
man. We used to do some mad shit with capping TV, and we had a lot of fun. Shout outs Capping TV. Shout outs Mitch Cliff 123. He's one of my number one guys. We love Mitch Cliff, even if other members of the community don't still do. It's okay, Mitch. We love you. We love Mitch. We love Lugnuts too, and we love TC Motto and number one rocker and this RGL season 20 amateur semifinals. And guess what, guys? Next week we're gonna have the finals. We're gonna have the finals on Is Just Jazz Real here on Twitch.tv. But the only way you're gonna know is if you are following me on Twitch.tv. We've only had one follow this stream, so how? And I know we've had more than one people in the
More
stream.
than one people.
So you got to do it. You got to do
Speaks
it.
the truth.
I only speak the truth. I only speak the
And-
truth. Sorry, I'll stop that. I'll stop
The
that.
only way, we don't want to see you here. You're not welcome.
Thank you,
The
thank
only
you.
way is because it'll just show a blank screen. If you don't follow and try to watch it, it'll be like our own DRM.
Truth fucking nuke.
It's just real.
Hey, shout outs TC Mono for the big follow. This guy wasn't following me. To be fair,
I wasn't either last week.
To be fair, I used to actually have like a Twitch account, and then one day I got banned while being in the Daniel from SL chat, DNSL, and like
Oh.
I don't know what the hell I did. No, I remember what I did. I can't say what I did.
Yeah.
I can't say what I
We can
did.
all speculate. We all know what you did.
No, I can't say what I did. But it was unjust. It was as unjust as me being banned off of Med in amateur this season. # free Just Jazz.
Oh, you were banned off of.
They wouldn't let me play Med in AM this season. They're like, hey, you've had too many playoff appearances in IM. And it's like, we never won a map. We never won a map. But that doesn't matter because we're on map 2 of this RGL season 20 AM semifinals. Insert cheesy bread versus team name fingered. TC Mono, take it away.
All right, we're coming in on to this first mid, and just immediately a lot of just kind of ground control from TNF. Not really looking into any of these doorways is going to be ICB. Kind of Bonesy and Cleo just having a field day. Now finally Quap and Danye going to be rushing the other side of things. They're actually going to find one onto overpaid Rice Farmer, and they're going to find another onto Connor. So immediately you can see why they picked this map. It is going to be an attempt of a bomb from Bonesy, not finding anything. Cleo, oh my god, Quap and Danye absolutely just cleaning house, quite literally. And that is going to be the first mid for them. You can see, number one, why they picked it. Just really, really great aggression from the flank.
Yeah, and already looking leagues better than they were last week. Like I said, they were looking shaky on this one against Ringers in Paris early on. They went down 2-0, and it was looking like they were going to lose their own map pick. But yeah, this is a way to start it. Show that, no, we do pick this map for a reason. It is our scary pick. Please, fear it. And yeah, Bonesy fearing the stickies from Chinese Dave, and Aurelia gonna fear the scattergun from 8-Bit, and Quap fearing Rice Farmer. Once again, 3 dead instantly on the failed sack for Holden. And yeah, Danya cleans up Cleo. Call me now, because I could have seen that one coming from a mile away. So yeah, TNF gonna have to go back to the drawing board for this. Miss Cleo! Does nobody know who Miss Cleo is? Call me now! Anyway. TNF going through. Okay, you know what? You guys are uncultured and you were all born after 2005.
I have no comment there.
I have some comments, and they are about the game. They're coming in really quickly. Sorry, the Uber exchange is happening on point. I will have to educate myself after on this reference that I do not know, but currently at the moment, an Uber exchange has happened on the point. TNF managing to break the forward hold from Cheesy Bread, trying to get a little bit of cap time. They have a lot of cap time on point. Seems like maybe Cleo is going to rush Relapse over in one of the houses. Relapse just going to jump back out over to safety, and Cheesy Bread having control of point this whole time, have half of the clock down in their favor, less than a minute 30 remaining as well. TNF not managing to find any real pressure, any chance to capture this up. They're so close, but Connor's actually going to die for the point. So now, even if they did capture it up, they'd have the worst spawns to try and continue this fight, and it just means more time off the clock for Cheesy Bread. It seems like
they still haven't capped it.
No, they haven't, and it's not because they've been stuffed in their spawn. It's just really, really great point play from Cheesy Bread. Now, finally, it is going to be TNF getting the point for the first time.
Yeah, no, doing a good job of making that point Vietnam eternally. Good lord, they didn't even I thought they capped it, but it was just like it is now. Just like 99% of the way capped there, and they were still just fighting over it. And now ICB getting that point back. 45 seconds left on the clock, and just a measly 15 seconds gone for TNF. But an Uber exchange is going to see Chinese Dave going to be the first to fall. So TNF, a bit of sunlight here at the end of the tunnel. Rice Farm are going to be going through Red House, taking the fight to Quap here, and Apic is taken out on Plat from the scatter from far away by Connor. And Relapse in the blue house, spotted out, going to be chased down by Cleo. Hear me now, and actually going to get jumped on by Bonesy instead, going to finish off that kill. So TNF with an advantage, and actually Chinese Dave on the top rope with the revenge on Taylor and Connor. And then Danya going to clean up Aurelia, but Cleo going to finally answer back, and that's 3 dead from TNF. And Cheesy Bread, good lord, coming out of nowhere. And Bonesy coming out of nowhere, man. They're just haymaker after haymaker, just sweat and blood all over the mat right now.
Yeah, Bonesy was so in deep at that moment, was able to get on the Holden. I think they weren't really expecting just to have a soldier that close to their spawn, and Bonesy able to get that. So it is going to be a little bit, tiny bit of Uber advantage for Team Named Figure. Question is, are they going to be able to get there to that point to be able to do anything with it before ICP start to try to pressure the point? And they are going to be able to get it. Only 30 seconds, less than 30 seconds left now for ICP before they get this first round on Bagel here. Going to be trying to play around the point. You can see Connor pressuring it just a little bit, and it seems like we do have a crit streak out from Holden, actually. They're probably not going to be expecting that onto Team Named Fingers, so if they're able to get one nice sticky from Chinese Dave,
here we go.
The crits does come out, does a lot of damage, is going to be able to not really find anything. Taylor has read the situation correctly, but unfortunately everyone else on his team has fallen. Taylor in a potential for a World of Horde is gonna go down very, very late with 97%. Danye doing well to chase that kill, and with only 2 seconds left, it's looking like this first round is gonna go the way of Cheesy Bread.
Yeah, no, that crits was sort of like a checkmate of sorts, because it's kind of like, yeah, you know, even if you don't get kills with it, you're gonna run away, and we're gonna get the point back, and it caps instantly. And we only had like 14 seconds or whatever left, so it's kind of like, all right, even if you don't get anything, this crit still gets you off the point. And that's what this this game is. It's just convincing people to not be where you don't want them. You don't necessarily have to kill them, although I do love the crits play. A bit European in this scenario, but either way, I love the crits. And it's paying off here. Insert Cheesy Bread up early on their map pick, looking a lot more confident than last week and definitely recovering after that first map. They lost 3-1 to Team Name Finger here. But going out to the second mid, and it feels like we've already had like 5 mids here on this map. They've just been at each other's throat from the start. Second mid going down, getting some early time for Team Name Finger, but Quap gonna get the first kill on an overpaid Rice Armor, but Chinese Dave could go down next if he's not careful. Backs out and gets the heals up from his med. Quap getting a really encounter at the same time, and that's 3 dead from TNF. And Bonesy has to back out with 22 HP, and actually Quap behind gets fragged, and Holden goes down. He dropped. I wasn't sure if I was reading that right, but yeah, absolutely. Bonesy just going huge for TNF and getting that drop.
Yep, really, really huge, and actually Cleo's going to be able to get the pick onto Danye, so it's going to be a good opportunity for TNF to get onto the point, start to capture it up. They do lose Connor. Nice sticky trap from Chinese Dave, and here comes the bomb in, trying to get onto Taylor. The counter, the 4-man sack coming out. Taylor, ooh, is going to have to use the Uber, unfortunately, there for TNF, so they're just going to have to try and escape. They're chasing actually pretty deep on TNF, not going to find anyone else there, and the thing that's happened on both these mids, number one, is every single time it's been Quap and I want to say Danye rushing the flank, getting in. They're able to just 2v1 overpaid Rice Farmer, and then Quap and Danye wrap around and they're able to just get onto the backs of the combo for TNF. And it's worked out both times really, really well. That time it didn't net them as big of an advantage because they did lose Holden to a drop, which is a little bit unfortunate, but if you are TNF, you do want to try and maybe send someone else over there to help overpaid Rice Farmer deal with that 2-man rush.
Absolutely, and rushing back onto the point is the entirety of Cheesy Bread, taking that point back, snapping it back. 2 minutes, 25 seconds, supposed to be caught out on Plat, and the rest in the alley of TNF. Chinese Dave taking a little bit of sticky damage there. It's going to have to limp away, and TNF with really good health and positioning going to roll out here. Even Ubers, and actually popping up first is Holden, and Taylor now with the counter. 8-bit a little bit behind enemy lines here. But yeah, TNF going to run off the rest of ICB. 8-bit goes down, Holden escapes, and TNF takes the point back. And actually Danye gets caught out here, way overextended, gets a kill on a Bonesy, but not really worth it, all things considered. And still Danye just getting run over here, or getting run over this time. But back to your point about getting run over in house, it's not really what you want to see, because yeah, it's the most annoying thing, having your right house just be completely taken over because your soldier can't hold it. I mean, you know, for one reason or another. But yeah, they have to clean that one up. Relapse going in for the sack. It's actually been Quap going in behind him, but actually caught out by Rice Farm on the flank here. Danye going to go down as well. But Quap is alive behind, so he could prove to be a nuisance here. Cleo goes down to 8-bit, and there we go. They trade each other out, Quap and Bonesy. So it is just a slugfest over the midpoint, and here comes Rice Farmer, unnoticed through the red house. 8-bit fighting him on Plat and cleans him up with ease. Holding on that Uber, they are going to exchange here. 8-bit wants it. He wants it so bad, but he's taking sticks to the face, backing him up. But they do take that point back. Less than 2 minutes to go here. But Team Name Finger technically with the time advantage. They just have to keep Taylor healthy, running back for that pack, and getting back up now. ICB holding a little bit passively, all things considered, if I'm reading it correctly here. Connor coming in from that blue house. They want to try that Uber out, but not a whole lot of support here. Going to try to get some fights going on outside of the Uber, but Relet's going to go on top, get on top up. Going to win over Bonesy. There's no good way to say that. Taylor getting popped up here, 27 HP. The Uber from Holden going to end, and here's Quap. No. They're trying to find the med, but I can't find the players either. So they're all just feeling around in the dark here, trying to find each other, but it is still Cheesy Bread with the point as Cleo gets the kill on 8-bit. So Pocket Scout down for Cheesy Bread, and the Soldier Gretchen high over the point. Bonesy does manage to get back out, and TNF getting that point back. 63 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, really, really close for both teams in terms of time still left on the clock. Sub 1 minute for TNF, just a little over a minute for ICB. Seems like they're trying to push forward here. A little bit of house aggression coming out from Relapse and his scout partner there. Bonesy, very, very weak, is just barely going to be able to stay alive, but that kind of space taken back is space created for ICB, and they're able to capture up the point. 8-Bit still playing around it. A little bit of a soldier battle between Rice Farmer and Quab, neither going to fall there, as currently TNF just trying to play this ring, and actually is going to force out the Uber from ICB onto 8-Bit. They do get the counter force from Taylor, is going to use onto her squad, and we do enter into another pause, the first of the second map here, and I don't really remember what the time was, but it's basically even. I think it was around about 42 apiece for both of them. So it is going to be a little bit of a later use for TNF. Taylor using a little bit later there. And Aurelia could go in for a super huge bomb, try and cut them off. Holden has around about 30% left. Taylor just used. So it's potentially better for TNF, but depends on how deep they chase, if they're able to get the kills, and if they chase a little bit too much, will ICP try and punish them? I do worry about Quap. He's over in this house by himself, and if overpaid Rice Farmer and Cleo decide to do what's been done to them so many times and do the two-man rush, that could be an opening pick for TNF.
Well, backing up a bit to how this Uber even started, a bit of an unforced error for ICB. There were two stickies right behind the point, exactly where you don't want them. In the meanwhile, it was just focused on aggressing the point, and I don't even think Holden noticed them. I don't think Chinese Dave noticed them, because they were just sat there the entire time, and Holden literally walked over them and then got deaded on, popped up, and then a roller came at his feet, and that's what forced out the Uber. So yeah, less than ideal, and definitely could have been avoided from ICB. But now I'm wondering, back in the present, if this is attack or attack, because it would be kind of ridiculous if Signet Finger got 1 point on the board and Cheesy Red once again just immediately put the brakes on and called the pause. But I don't know, man. It's a little bit annoying. But I can understand it. But yeah, no, I feel like this is going to be a TNF win here, because like you said, Aurelia is like in a prime position, just getting the flash, 30 or 74% on that Uber counting down. So definitely a possibility to catch them out. And Cleo and Rice Farmer, honestly, if Cleo wants to accept a little bit less help, they could feasibly crunch as well if they want to go. Relapse is alone. Don't think he's going to do much. But I mean, yeah, everything says that this should be TNF's fight to lose.
Yeah,
but
it
remains to be
seems like
seen.
they're in a. Yeah, it does seem like they're in a really good position. Outside of Quap, though, they might have to chase a little bit hard. Relapse could be caught out, depending on how quick he's able to kind of leave this house area. And I mean, Bonesy could maybe try and chase, but it's you would expect Connor and Aurelia just to try and go and chase down Holden and 8-Bit. So Relapse might be able to get out as well. It's always interesting to be in these types of moments where you can overanalyze everything that the players have in front of them, when in reality, as we all know, this happens in a blink of a second, and I don't think they're going to be thinking about this particular second too much when they review the game. Who knows, maybe they will. Maybe something absolutely dastardly happens within the next second after this. Of course, this is 90 seconds into the future. That is what happens when you watch through Source Television, as we are doing so. I mean, it was 42 seconds apiece. That's roughly 90 seconds. Don't make me do math. Yeah, that's roughly about 90 seconds.
About 84, yeah.
Yeah. So it could be that it goes into double overtime and one team ends up winning, and then we do indeed have a tactical pause as a result of that. I could see TNF doing it if ICB are able to win this one, especially if TNF just barely lose, because, you know, sometimes when you get rolled, it's like, well, we're just going to roll. What can you do? But if you lose by a very thin margin, that can hurt a little bit more, because you're like, okay, we definitely could have won. There were definite mistakes that were fixable. What can we change here? So, going to be curious to see how the remainder of this round plays out. Just by looking at it, I would assume that. Actually, I think ICB are going to be able to hold on to this here. I think TNF are going to chase a little bit too deep, and they might get caught out for it.
You want to put money on it? No, I'm
kidding.
no. But back to your point about all the
Let's open up a Kalshi bet right now.
Yeah, right. No, thanks. I'm good. It's already bad enough I'm playing poker games again. I don't
Oh,
need
you're
it. I
good
don't,
at poker, though. That's the difference, though.
and I don't really have an addictive person. But either way, I don't know. I just want to go back to what you said about the proselytizing and pontificating, because I could totally see them being like, "Oh yeah, no, we didn't think about that whatsoever. It didn't even occur to us once." But actually, not going the way I thought whatsoever. They actually decided to just end the fight in the houses, more or less. Relapse coming in hot. And overpaid Rice Farmer as well, just beefing the Rockets, but the 90 LG also being beat. But Danye finally connects that Luger morph to the Soldier player model. And now it's Bonesy getting scattergun to the back there, just blasted out of the server by Danye. And I don't know what the times are now because of pause. Really wish they would fix that 20 years after the fact, Valve.
It is. Yeah, 8 seconds left for ICB. I did a cheeky little retry while you were taking over.
You.
So. But it is looking pretty good for TNF. If you don't look at the time on the clock, they've got a few more players up and they've got a bit of cap time, but ICB are doing well to kind of whittle that away. They should be able to get it, however, and they do. TNF do take control of the point immediately. ICB are now going to use their Uber. They built that very quickly and going to be coming back in, trying to get it on the Taylor, and they do find her. So that is going to be a dead medic now. They just have to try and play this post fight very, very well. The Soldier's going to be jumping in. They do find one onto Holden, but there's a lot more players up for Cheesy Bread than there are for Team Named Finger. In fact, it's only going to be overpaid Rice Farmer, and, 4v1, I think he's underpaid to try and deal with that. Is going to go down, and it is 2-0.
And it's exactly like you predicted. Just snatch and defeat from the jaws of victory, Team Named Finger there. And yeah, I totally get that. It's like this is their map pick. They've clearly boned up on it in the week since last. And it was right there, 13 seconds on the clock, and they just snatched it away from you. Bit heart-wrenching, but you can't let it get to you. There's still 2 more rounds minimum to be played. So still time for Team Named Finger to jump back into this one. But yeah, no, Cheesy Bread's showing once again that this is their back pocket map, and they're definitely going to assert dominance. They might have had him on the ropes there in Sunshine, but hey, Koth is our thing.
Yep, Bonesy actually going to go in for a very early pick,
nice.
and is going to be able to take down Holden. So I like that aggression coming out from TNF. Change things up. Don't wait for them to come to you. Go to them. But now they've got to worry about them coming into them as they're going to be bombing in, trying to get in onto Taylor, managing to just barely stay alive. And that is going to be a living medic for TNF and a potential of capturing up this midpoint. It is going to be Relapse just making their way back and meeting back up with the rest of her respawners. They don't have to delay for Cleo as they are already back up. So for the first time in this match, it is going to be TNF getting the initial mid win. And it seems like they're also trying to set up for a little bit of a forward hold as well.
Indeed. I'm trying to actually go back and see who paused. Okay, so it was a TNF pause. I think it was a tech, actually, if I'm reading the chat right. But anyway, Bonesy coming in, huge Connor as well, and it's just a melting on that sack wave from ICB. They're going to have to go back to the drawing board with that one, still building out that Uber, and I'm going to get a cheeky retry, actually, in the interim.
Of course, as a... No, yeah, it's always nice to have a working HUD when you're trying to do casting TF2. So, but you're not going to be missing too much action because for the meantime, they're just waiting to get their spawners. They got them now. And they're going to start to try and push out. The Soldier's going to be doing some nice skip jumps to get through. They do actually find the force out onto Taylor. Holden is going to immediately use as well. 8-Bit trying to find any kills they possibly can. Is going to chase overpaid Rice Farmer, but actually it is going to be a trap. 8-Bit does die to that, and this push from ICB has netted them absolutely nothing. They've gotten no kills. They've gotten no space. They did get the force, but they did use immediately as well. So they're just kind of right back to where they started, and this time it's going to be TNF with a massive time advantage on the clock.
Yeah, and looking like a repeat of last week almost, where the team goes up early and then a slow unraveling follows soon after. Connor taking out Quap, Aurelia onto Danye, Chinese Dave onto the Soldier over. Taylor surfs out in the meanwhile, but Holden goes down, and yikers, that's a yikers in chat right there. Connor gonna get the last kill onto, no, don't make me look stupid, on 8, but it's actually gonna be Cleo instead, stealing the frag from his teammate there. But yeah, ICB just getting absolutely boxed out here in the paint. 62 seconds left on the clock. Sent to Yikers Island. Okay, I get it, It's a bit highbrow for me, but I'll accept it. Full Uber from Taylor in the meanwhile. First cap finally coming out from ICB, and they just let him happen. Oh, Aurelia jumps on the point and says, no, not yet. Look at me. This is my point. Wow, the flank just going huge on Quap and Danya in the meantime. So yeah, not a whole lot ICB can do it. Cleo just continuing this aggression. Gonna pick out Chinese Dave? No. Instead, it's gonna see 8-Bit instead. It's gonna be Connor giving the old Texas switch. An overpaid Rice Farmer onto Holden. That's not a drop, but it damn well might as well be. Insert Cheesy Bread just crumbling under the pressure here. The aggression from TNF. And Taylor still holding on to that Uber.
Yeah, really great stuff right now from TNF, just being absolutely dominant in this third round. They haven't been able to capture up the point once, Cheesy Bread. Relapse now in a fight with Bonesy is going to lose that, and they're just trying to make a desperation play for the point to just get it up once. Holden doesn't have Uber yet to use to try and counter this Uber out from Taylor, and it's looking way better for TNF. Oh, overpaid Rice Farmer coming in. Didn't actually get the spoon there. It was Cleo with the kill, and that should be the third round going their way. Overpaid Rice Farmer going to be taunting on the point, and it is successful. 2-1. Still going to be Cheesy Bread in the lead, but after such a dominant round from team name Finger, you got to start to worry.
Team name Finger has to worry?
No. Cheesy Bread have to worry.
Oh, I was about to say, what did I miss? Yeah, no. Again, it's their map pick. Sound like a broken record here, but yeah, you looked good to start, kid, but now you're kind of fucking up a bit. Need to figure something out, because yeah, that flank play was working, but I guess under overpaid Rice Farmer and Cleo wisened up to it, and they're gonna have to try something else here. Can't just be a one-strat team, I guess. But good position for ICB here. Danye doing his due diligence, cleaning off the stickies. Well, 2 more came up. 8-Bit also doing the scatter responsibilities. Cleo peeking into Blue House, gets a fat rocket in the face for his trouble here. Gonna have to back out and get some heals up. Quap in the meantime onto overpaid Rice Farmer, and once again they go for that flank. And Taylor just completely oblivious to what's going on behind her. Gonna go down as well, and TNF just, they're the ones crumbling now. And it's just a back and forth, and Donnie gonna shoot it out, Bonesy out of the sky before he even has a chance to threaten Holden, sitting on that 100% Uber. Taylor just now coming up, and now the onus is on Finger to get things rolling once again. Can they do it?
Yep. We've seen maybe both teams have a little bit of trouble trying to push out into these forward hold positions from the enemy team. So we'll have to see if maybe TNF are going to be able to have a little bit more success. Aurelia does manage to break through onto the other side, and the rest of the team does follow suit. Actually, Aurelia going for a very aggressive bomb, trying to catch out Holden. Bonesy going to be coming in as well. They're not finding anything here, and neither does Cleo, so it's going to be an alright attempt. It doesn't find too much of anything. Of course, it is just a 4-man. Taylor and Connor were very safe and secure in their spawn, just building up that Uber. So now they're going to have 100%. They're going to try and do the same thing, except get a few more kills, get some more permanent space, and maybe use the Uber if necessary.
Thanks to the power of green screen, Taylor was never in any danger at all the whole time. But it's a bit of a deep cut, if you know, you know. Anyway, finally a successful breakout from team name Finger. ICB backing up just a touch here, getting that back rage, or that rage onto the point going. 8-Bit has a little bit to say about it, and we're just waiting for this Uber exchange to come out. Relapse in the meantime on a Bonesy in the house, get some good damage out. Overpaid Rice Farmer securing dominance of that red house over Danya. 8-Bit gets smacked back across the point, almost gets dropped here, retreating to the loving arms of Holden, gets that Uber popped off, and it's slightly better for TNF, but slightly. Both medics are extremely weak in the post, however, but Connor gets the first kill onto 8-Bit in that post. Bonesy, Craters, and overpaid Rice Farmer getting 2, including the medic. It's a very nice value for both soldiers. Well, I guess overpaid Rice Farmer at the very least for TNF. And they're going to take out Relapse late death as well. So, yeah, TNF looking good off of that repush. 2 minutes 40 on the clock, however. Just a measly 75 seconds for insert Cheesy Bread. So still more or less in control. They're going to come out in the plat uncontested here and get on a point uncontested here. Cleo sends out a Christmas ornament, but doesn't get much with it. And they cap the point right back, but Connor takes out Quap, so they're down to Soldier. Bonesy gets sloshed up, and House here has to back up to the alley pack, but that's not the way you wanted to go whatsoever. Gets cleaned up by 8-Bit. Now Chinese Dave off the top rope, and actually Relapse on the other side. The complete Texas switch. The drew eyes and got the kill on a Taylor. Very nicely done. Holden now with the Uber advantage here. but gonna have to back up with his team into house here. But not peeking right back out, you know, not to be dissuaded. But 55 seconds. Oh, actually, no, they don't even have the point, ICB. So, yeah, 55 seconds for them. Chinese Dave gets kill nucleus, so down a scout. Not great in Koth, but it is workable for TNF if you're them. 8-Bit getting that cap down. It's going to be 55 seconds left and ticking for ICB to get their third round on the board. 8-Bit, in the meanwhile, going to help Relapse take down Bonesy, and the huge jump in from Aurelia, going to get the force out from Holden. Not holding on to that Uber very well, but it is a successful sack wave, and I'm starting to feel like I'm drunk, so I'm going to head it over to Mono.
You know, you say that I've got a nice big bottle of apple cider next to me. Not opened. I've been thinking about it, but actually going in onto Taylor's been thinking about dropping the medic and does so 99%. So that might be a reason for Taylor to pick up the bottle. Unfortunate to see it happen, but you know, still for TNF, they've got some opportunities left in this round. Even with only 6 seconds left for ICB, they're going to be making their way towards onto the point. Holden very, very close to getting Uber themselves, but maybe at risk at falling if one of these soldier bombs does come through. They do take down overpaid rice farmer, and I think that should be enough for them to get onto the point. They do have maybe an opportunity. TNF Bonesy going to be jumping forward, making a little bit of space. They get a tiny bit of cap time. They do lose one, and now here comes the Uber, immediately deleting Connor. Is going to be 8-Bit, finds another onto Taylor, and I think this round is curtains in the favor of Cheesy Bread. Overpaid rice farmer just going to bomb in pad the damage stats just a little bit, and I think that should do it. Maybe Bonesy might be able to make their way to the point. Does actually touch the late a little bit longer, but I've not going to be able to do enough there. So it is going to be 3-1. Cheesy Bread managing to find a response to that very dominant round from TNF and take themselves a little bit closer to a third map.
Yeah, Cheesy Bread doing their best Borg impression. Their resistance is futile. And I guess also like a textbook checkmate situation there, because, yeah, you know, TNF got the point back, but they have way less time, and they had way less Uber, which is like 30 to Holden's 100. So, yeah, not really the best odds there for TNF, but once again, they still have 3 more chances to get it going. But, yeah, Cheesy Bread threatening the third map, up 3-1 in this 5th mid-fight. Overpaid rice farmer jumping up. Actually, Bonesy taking the aggression and gets slapped down by Chinese Dave's pipes. No, that's a no-fly zone right there, my friend. And going to be set on the carpet. It stickies over. A nice little diamond formation. Very nicely done. I don't know if he did that on purpose, but damn, it looks practice. Overpaid rice farmer going to go down in the red house, and Quap not far behind him. Craters as well. So Bonesy going to be the one off the spawn here, but a bit late to the fight for TNF, as Cheesy Bread does have the point. Uber in the hands of both medics. And I'm spitting all over my screen here. And the carpet coming back from Aurelia. And we're just going to wait to see if that Uber comes out. 8-Bit, once again, looking very aggressive, like he wants to take it, just waiting for the go-ahead. Just that little bit of overcommitment. And actually getting crunched by the house here. Holden has to pop off that Uber, because they're just sort of standing there waiting for the exchange. But TNF content to just let them stand there and take the damage here. Losing both soldiers in the process, but very bad health from ICB in the post. Chinese Dave does take down Taylor, though, so very poor health recovery options for TNF in the post fight. 8-Bit taking out Cleo on the plat, and Relapse just holding position. TNF looking like they kind of want to push out without their med, but I think it's just more keeping the rest of ICB at arm's length as Zanya comes flying in on overpaid rice farmer. Gonna get that kill, and Relapse gonna get the assist onto the demo. Aurelia here actually gonna get that frag entirely for himself. Bonesy trades him out, and 8-Bit gets Bonesy jumping in, trying to salvage something, but that looks rather sloppy and not really well coordinated from TNF, and sort of just feeding in, trickle feeding, as the kids say, one after the other here. TNF on the back foot, 60 Uber, and Holden actually not very far behind, so theoretical dry push, maybe, but I don't think they really want to take it with the score being the way it is, but they are actually going to push out. Aurelia goes down once again to the pills of Chinese Dave, and Cleo jumping into the loving scattergun of Cleo. Just once again, another trickle feed here. Not really a rhyme or reason to it, and Bonesy doing a little around the world there. Looking for the pack, just going to have to run back, and just more time wasted from Team Named Finger, and they're the ones getting boxed out now.
They are getting boxed out, which is not good if you are TNF, because if they lose this round, it sends them to a third map. If they want to try and close it out here on Bagel, they have to try and get back into this game. Last time they lost Aurelia, this time the traps don't hit and is going to be able to be full health walking through that doorway. They do have Uber. It is going to be even, so if they do use it, they're going to be met with an Uber right back in response. You're getting a little bit of cap time as well. 8-Bit trying to play the point, taking a lot of damage. Is going to have to back up, and now the Uber does come to try and delay it and get a little bit more cap time out in their favor. ICB just kind of dancing around. No one falling just quite yet. No one going behind as well. Actually, really great stuff from Cheesy Bread to not lose anyone there, which can maybe happen when you go for those aggressive Uber exchanges. But now, if they do lose control of the point, TNF going to be able to capture that one out, and immediately 8-Bit standing on the point, trying to get it as quickly back in his team's control as possible. They're doing really well. Really great damage actually coming out from everyone on TNF, or ICB, sorry. And that is going to be a nice bomb coming in, taking down Connor, but Holden's going to go down. Bonesy, seeing that opportunity, immediately flies in, and Taylor is going to be alive with a bit of Uber advantage for TNF. And as long as these next two players come in and don't find their mark, which I don't think they will, this should be a good opportunity for TNF to try and stay in this. But Donnie was hiding. Now an opportunity onto Taylor, wide open. He's going to be able to get it with the help of Chinese Dave, and that is disaster, sadness incarnate if you are TNF.
Absolutely. I was getting a little bit worried there because, well, actually, it seems like TNF is content to hold it down Medic when they're going to have to because, yeah, 6 seconds left on the clock. They get the point back, but it's not exactly a comfortable position. On the back foot, about a 40 or, yeah, like about a 35% Uber disadvantage, 40% Uber disadvantage. And as we all know, Uber advantage, not like the craziest thing in COD, but when it's 40, that's 40% Uber is 40 Uber. You know, that's always going to be good. But just now coming up on it, ICB looking like they want to go central to wait, I don't know where I'm at. They're going to go through Plat, it seems, busting out, and TNF going to give up the space. They don't really want to tempt fate. They're a minute 50 left on the clock. And ICB is the one that uses that first, and 8-Bit just completely off the chain, yo. Doesn't even need the invulnerability. And Taylor at 93% Uber. They're just going to get crunched in Blue House, and 3 seconds left. 2, 1, and ICB gets the wipe to finish out the map 4-1. Very well done. A little bit of a stumble, but rallying and just showing them why this is their map pick. And TNF, you know, they seemed like they had something going there, but Taylor goes down, and it's just catastrophe, calamity for the team there. And yeah, third map, baby. Let's see how it goes. It's going to be Gully Wash. But let's hop into these stats, actually, because I just wanted to note that ICB was using their Ubers first in a lot of cases, sometimes forced, sometimes not. But despite that, they were actually pretty efficient, all things considered.
Yeah,
Pretty
very,
well. Where do I have my stats? There we go.
very, very efficient coming out from them. And yeah, definitely showing why this was their map pick, you know, without a doubt. Almost winning every single mid fight. The only one that they lost is, of course, the round that they got pretty boxed out on, like you said. It was a very good round from team name Finger in that one, but overall, just not really a match for ICB. Especially, you have to say the flank of Danye and Quap every time, just kind of rushing that, getting onto overpaid Rice Farmer immediately to start it off, and then that just giving them an opportunity to get in behind, go around, and be a nuisance. Allowed their team to have a lot of really great success. So just kind of shout outs to them, Quap as well, having a really great game. But just looking at the damage, actually, both demos top damaging, which kind of makes sense. Aurelia and Chinese Dave doing well. And then actually the soldiers for team name Finger doing a lot in terms of a damage department. What was it? I'm trying to remember the names without looking at it. Just looking at these aliases, it's oh my god, no, don't. I will get this. I was literally just speaking their names.
I know, right?
Ago.
I can't do it either. What the heck?
How does this happen? How does this happen? Overpaid
Rice Farmer.
Overpaid Rice Farmer. I get Chinese Dave confused. Overpaid Rice Farmer
and Bonesy.
And who's the other one?
Bonesy.
Okay, that's Hog Bomb 2016 explained. Noted. them having really high damaging games, but unfortunately not enough to get their team the victory. So
Yeah, and like it's not even that their scouts on TNF were dying way more. They just didn't really seem to follow up the damage that their soldiers were putting out, if the stats are anything to go by. But I mean, I kind of get that because Danye and 8-Bit were popping off just the slightest bit. I mean, the whole of the team looked good, but the scouts especially showing why you need scouts on Koth.
yeah,
24
definitely showing
frags.
why.
Yeah, 24 frags for Danye and 19 for 8-Bit. So yeah, I mean, not that dissimilar, but it just felt way more impactful.
Yeah, it did feel a lot more impactful on that side. So as we go on to Gully Wash,
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see what these soldiers do, because consistently throughout both maps so far, I've been pretty impressed by the soldiers, all four of them. Oh,
I'm going to interject real quick with a quick scores update from the other RGL Season 20 amateur semifinal going on. That's that Bun Squad versus Marmot game. The maps they picked were Bagel, Metalworks, and then finishing on Snakewater. The first map, Bagel, went 4-1 in the favor of Bun Squad. That is the demo night team. Yeah, it looked to be a close one, right? A lot of the stats kind of similar. That the damage was really tilted in favor of Marmot, but not able to turn those into frags. And as it stands at last update at 10:02, they were tied 3-3 on Metalworks, and they would be in infinite overtime, assuming the game has not ended. And at my last logs refresh, the game has not ended. So that could be going to a map 3. Of course, we're on map 3 on this RGL Season 20 amateur semifinals. Team name Finger versus Insert Cheesy Bread. Really exciting series so far. I've had a lot of fun. Hopefully it's been enjoyable on your guys' end as well from the cast.
Oh, yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
and then as well, quickly, Rocker and TC Mono, we are going to be covering the full grand finals next week. We might even get player interviews. We might have a good intro. We could be doing a lot of things, right? But you're only going to know when that game is live if you hit that follow button, because I know Ammo Mod's not following. Austin, you're not following. Grape Juice, the third, is in the chat with a TF2 team alumni, and he's not following. So you got to follow. Yeah. You have to hit the follow button, like, subscribe. I can't subscribe, but you do have to follow. But we're gonna be
looking for you last week.
We're gonna be going to match 3. We're gonna be going to map 3, and if this ends and the other match is still going, we might send it over that way, but only if you follow. So shout outs Austin for following. Shout outs Mitch Cliff for following. Hope you guys enjoy the last map. I'm gonna go back to being muted.
Yeah, shut up now, please. Thank you. Anyway, that was weird. I thought I heard a weird semi-Australian man who played soccer talking to us. Must have been the wind. No, but yeah, absolutely right. We are going to have some high-flying, fast-paced, high-octane action next week for the grand final of Amateur Season 20. Be here for it. I certainly will. But yeah, no, I am enjoying this one because this is certainly miles away and miles per hour faster than they were playing last week. ICB. Just downright glacial, and then just painful from the amount of fail pushes from both teams after a while. It even got us talking about, the whole fatigue theory, just playing TF2 for 6 hours straight. Do you make mistakes? And it seems like you did, but I got some inside baseball that they were using some performance enhancers, legal ones, mind you. Oh. But it made a lot more sense why they were just able to keep going like the Energizer Bunny. Which, hey, I get it. That's part of the game, man. But still, I was just like, dude, they're like playing 40 minutes per map, man. And I remember playing like 60 minutes one time on Sunshine. And I was like, please, let me just die, And I can't imagine playing, 2, let alone 3 maps. 40 minutes each. It's just that, no. I like a third map, like I said, but please don't do it like that, man. Just smack them down and make them embarrassed on the third map and be like, well, see, we barely even needed it, But yeah, this is pretty exciting. I'm not gonna lie. Can't hold you, Mono. I cannot tell a lie. I was expecting it to go to a third map. Well, I wanted to see a third map. I was not expecting a third map in actuality because I've not been that lucky lately. But yeah, what do you make of the performance you've seen so far? What do you have for a prediction? We haven't done that yet.
Oh, that's true. We have done absolutely 0 predictions. I've been enjoying this matchup a lot. It's always great when you go to a third map, especially when it's very rare in just TF2 in general where each team wins their map pick. I have seen so many times where it gets to a third map by the team winning each other's map pick. So it seems
Yeah.
like these teams either have a very good lock on what they're good at or maybe a very good read on what the enemy team is bad at. Meaning that, if this follows that, the expected analysis of, oh, this is the map that they're both kind of okay at and they don't mind, then we should be in for a really great game as ideally no one has the just upper hand just due to how the map is, and I have like maybe better strats prepared for this. So we could be in for a real slugfest if it comes down to it. For that reason, and that reason alone, I am going to. Ooh, it's hard. I can see it going either way. I think it's gonna be a low-scoring game,
Really?
but not necessarily a slow-paced game, just a low-scoring game.
Right.
I am going to say 3-2 in the favor of. What do I really believe? I don't know.
What do you really feel, man? Let us
What do
know.
I really feel? I don't know. I could see it going either way.
Yeah, it is tough, actually.
Yeah, it's extremely tough just from what I've seen, but I'm going to lock in 3-2 as the scoreline. I think that we're going to get the 2-2, and I think that last round is going to take forever because they're just going to be playing super. It's going to be a lot of like almost and what ifs, and finally, when it does come for whoever wins, it is going to be glorious, glorious ascent.
There will be tears on both sides, I'm sure. It's all over but the crying. But yeah, I'm gonna take you up on that. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a low-scoring game, but reverse the other half. It's gonna be a slower game because they tightened up on Bagel, but last week, man, like I was saying, it went to Gully Wash for the second map or for the third map, and like a lot of failed pushes from ICB, and Gully Wash is like. It's kind of tough to correct Gully Wash in a week. Sunshine is a lot more doable, but Gully Wash is like either you have it or you don't because you're basically cutting your scouts out of the equation for the entire map just by the nature of the map. But we have a score update coming in from the control room there. Jazz, what do you got?
Oh, let me hit my button. Let me hit my button. Here it is.
Ew, put it away.
This is breaking news from the RGL Season 20 Amateur Semifinals, Bun Squad versus Marmot. We have the final score from Map 2. Map 2 goes in favor of Marmot winning against Bun Squad 4-3 after 42 minutes and 49 seconds of gameplay. They are going to a Map 3. Both semifinals go into a Map 3. What a series we have in both maps across all these games. All right, I'm muting.
Here's some more breaking news. We're finally starting the third map, and it's Gully Wash. Again, a map where the scouts kind of don't matter as much, but I mean, it remains to be seen. They could absolutely prove me wrong as Cleo goes flying up the ramp. Early pressure from TNF with the soldier duo coming down on top of them and catching them out. So that's 3 dead already from TNF, and yeah, rightly so. They get the hell out of Dodge, and that's cute. Somebody just made $50. Anyway, yeah, first mid for Cheesy Bread. Looking really good and not at all like they were last week on this map. So 2 maps in a row where their form has notably improved.
Bro, I just want to say that update alert came out. I can't actually close it on my HUD because I don't have that button bound. So it just fucking sat there.
Why don't you hit? Okay, I see it. I was gonna say at least it wasn't inappropriately named because that would have just been like actual.
I just would have sat there and just like accepted my life. All right, I'm
the second
again.
band coming out from Just Jets live on the third map here as ICB continues their pressure into last point. Aurelia getting the stickies out on the shutter. Could catch somebody out if they're not careful. So yeah, they back out after losing Relapse, and TNF just losing Bonesy. Again, a very conservative play there. One might even say they fear I don't really get this whole not holding in river thing, especially if you have Uber. Is that like the new thing that's going around? Is that the new hotness? Because that just seems wrong.
I'm not sure, honestly. I am not up with the new metas in amateur, or the new metas anyway, really. It's been quite a while since I've played a full season of this game. I'm just mostly watching it at the moment, and this has proven to be a very fun match. Danye hiding out over in water, trying to see if he can maybe bait someone in or maybe get some cap time on the point. Overpaid Rice Farmer has spotted him, so should be able to communicate that to the rest of the team. Gully Wash, one of the kind of most fun maps in my opinion in terms of its last point. There's just so many ways to get in and break. You know, it is the I think the origin of the infamous pressure cooker kind of gameplay theory that kind of originated, at least I think originated from Froyo Tech, and they used it to great success, and it's kind of cascaded down throughout all the divisions. And there's just so many entryways. You know, you got through water, you got balcony, you got shutter, you got lower, you got river proper, and you know, it's one of those places where holding on last isn't necessarily as comfy as potentially snake water or sunshine. You really have to work if you are on last, as there are a lot of ways to kind of slip up, and kind of conversely, there's a lot of ways to kind of pressure, which makes it a very fun last point to watch. And speaking of that, Danye is doing that immediately, trying to get a little bit of pressure onto Overpaid Rice Farmer as he tries to protect this last point. Gets a lot of cap time, is going to force someone to go over and try and get him out of it, is going to manage to stay alive, and it's actually going to be Rice Farmer being taken down.
And actually, Danye does not escape to Wonderland. Very unfortunate, but it did look like he was going to. A lot of cap time, so they had to keep an eye on that. And the force out from Taylor, and then the counter pop from Holden. Actually, reversed that. But yeah, it's an Uber fight over the last point, and escaping through water now. Actually, going to pop back up, but Bonesy's there to say, how do you do? And he's going to get one. Aurelia is going to get one. And yeah, that's another failed lash push from ICB on Gully Wash. Not too surprised, but it did look good. The pressure cooker was there, just not able to finish her off and bring it on home. Although I do want to say, because it's really bugging me, I want to sick air shot.
Yeah, Relapse getting the air shot onto Overpaid Rice Farmer. It is going to be a trade, so it's not going to be too bad, but still, nice air shot.
I forget what I was gonna say exactly. I just wanted to. Oh, it's about the pressure cooker thing. I wanted to throw out some boomer opinions there and be like, I think it was Badlands that actually started the whole pressure cooker. Because you got the lower right, and then you can sneak in while you're pressured from top left, you know. But that's just me remembering a time when you switched team colors at halftime as well. Not only was there halftime, you switched sides for whatever reason because they believed that, you know, there was still that whole asynchronous advantage thing, maybe like in Counter-Strike. I don't know. But yeah, you used to switch sides. And I remember when we stopped doing that, I was kind of like, why did we stop doing that? It's tradition. But anyway, as the tradition, we have a hold last point on Gully Wash with full Ubers from both medics. And yeah, ICB once again going back to the drawing board, seeing which way they want to skin this cat. Do they want to go through Shutter at the time and just long dick it down and try to just bully their way into last, or will they go in through river this time and going? It's really good that they went for the water play first. You know what I mean? That's something they break out after 20 attempts. And I guess I'm a robot. Fuck me.
You know, domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Domo. Currently, ICB trying to pressure in and just trying to see if there's going to be any opening for them to take advantage of. 8-bit just kind of looking down at lower. Danye is once again going to make his way into water to maybe try and get a little bit of cap time on the pointer, maybe get a quick two-shot onto someone who tries to fight him, and is going to be able to fight Overpaid Rice Farmer. Is going to lose that, so great stuff from him to be able to win that. Now that's going to be Bonesy going in super deep, gets one onto Quap, and they are able to take down Cleo as well, so that's going to be 3 falling for ICP, and a definite push-out opportunity if you are Team Name Finger. They're taking a bit of time, just maybe trying to make sure that they don't get back-capped here, and they're slowly working their way. It is going to buy enough time for them to get their respawners on ICP, and there's also a spy out on the field. 8-bit has come up on the Frenchman.
Indeed, as somebody could contend with here as the Ubers are popped off in yard, but TNF probably going to get back to last in time relapse, ready for the crunch as the Uber fades, and there he goes, just set him loose with Quap as well, going to get Taylor and Aurelia. The rest of TNF gonna scurry, flee back to last as 8-Bit also gets caught out apparently, so yeah, no spy play. But I want to say that was a huge, probably the fastest instant counter sack I've ever seen on Gully Wash from Bonesy. And then, yeah, the rest of his team just sort of didn't count the rest of the players and just was too afraid of getting back cap to actually capitalize on it. But I just got to throw it out there. That was a really good pressure there. Nobody saw it coming, and he got some damage and got ICB to back out completely to mid. But they're coming back in now for another attempt at last. Spotting out that gun.
Yep, and even better for Cheesy Bread. They do have Uber advantage this time. Getting the kill onto Taylor means that they're going to be able to walk in with round about like 60-ish%, maybe closer to 50. And they're coming in with the Uber. They got to take down the sentry gun. They do manage to do that. Got to rotate over onto the right side. They get two actually for their troubles. Bonesy and Cleo both going to be taken down. Rice Farmer coming in with the wraparound, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Cleo dies on heavy before they can really do anything there. And Aurelia making a play for the point, but it's not going to be enough. And that is the first round of this third map going the way. Cheesy Bread.
I don't think Cleo was on the right loadout because he came out with the Brass Beast, and that kind of takes a while to get to point as heavy as it is, but if you're revved up on the Brass Beast, well, yeah, this ain't really the map for it. I'm sorry to all my Brass Beast theory lovers out there, but I don't know about Gully Wash. But either way, second round, second mid, ICB on top, looking good. We're going to see if TNF has the counter to that early aggression that we saw last time. Actually, no, they were the ones that the early aggression didn't pay out. Let's see. They're playing a lot more conservatively and already paying off as they get Quap with the Sticky Storm Aurelia, and he is just balls deep on the point here. And now Chinese Dave getting caught out here, just completely abandoned on the midpoint. And that's Holden trying to get out and almost getting caught by Aurelia there. But too little, too late, too little health to continue that fight. But TNF win in the mid and continuing on Bonesy. Actually, they're coming back out to River here.
Yeah, they are trying to fight this. Danya kind of leading by charge. Gets a lot of great damage onto Bonesy, who has to catch an arrow, and they're making a little bit of space here, kind of forcing these players onto a low ground Connor as well. Nice bomb coming from Bonesy, gonna force out the Uber. Can Danya find anyone here? Bomb coming in. They do get the counter force out. Taylor gonna use that onto Connor. Gonna lurk around. Is gonna find one onto Relapse, just rushing forward, and they do have a lot of space. They have the high ground here, and I think that is gonna be the call for Cheesy Bread to just back out of second, head back onto their last. Really great attempt there, but wasn't to be, and good actually read for them to just be able to get out when they can and not lose too many more other than Relapse. So they're gonna have a little bit of time to try and set up here immediately. You can already see TNF starting to spam these doorways and get a little bit of damage on, deny those crit heals, maybe make it a little bit harder for Danye to build up that sentry gun. And now TNF in position, trying to see if there's some way they can maybe get their first round on the board here. Seems like there is a little bit of a, not off-class action, but a side grade action coming out from Bonesy on the conch. Maybe going to use that to initiate and either get the Uber forced out or maybe come in after the Ubers have been used for a little bit of post-Uber shenanigans, but currently just going to be building up that conch. I think it's more of like a buff weapon. It gives you offensive buffs rather than defensive buffs. I don't know my conch that well, so hopefully they do, but very curious to see how that turns out. Losing your demo is not a great way, however, to use any banner, so they're just going to have to back out of lobby for the meantime.
The Contra is basically just 4 HP extra generated per second, and it's basically a mix of Mad Milk and a Whip. Gives you speed and gives damage done back as health. So, I mean, I gotta give respect to it. Props to Shadowburn, Shadowburn, for running the Black Box Conjurer on Gully Wash all those moons ago. Really showing my age with that one. But yeah, the Russian TF2 Soldier Star, Shadowburn, getting a shout out in 2026, but that wasn't on your bingo card.
No, it wasn't. You know, that's a pretty old name. That's kind of up there with those, not players who, what could have been, but one of those things that it would have been always really cool to see at LAN, just to see how they would have stacked up against a little bit more known talent. But Maybe Cleo reaching into the back lugs as well, putting that up. The conch has been blown. They've got it ready, and they have used it. Seems like they're using it to rush over into lower, maybe trying to fix up against Quap. Cleo is going to go die, but Bonesy is going to be able to avenge them. Bonesy actually does trade out with Relapse, so that is going to be a two-player trade. Overpaid Rice Farmer taking down the Sentry Gun as well. Going to be making a little bit of space here. Is it a 1v1 with a Pyro? Is going to lose that. Really great stickies, and they're just dying one by one super duper slowly, making it a little bit hard for TNF to decide, do they want to commit here? Because by the time they get one kill, they immediately lose another, and the spawners are a lot closer for ICB, so I think it's just going to stalemate out a little bit longer here. I do kind of like the conch idea, just maybe using that to get a favorable team fight on that point. But unfortunately for them, just was not executed as well as it could have been.
Yeah, it was kind of a solo contra. It was kind of weird, but it was working because it was drawing eyes, and like the fact that he was so fast in the air, it's kind of tough to hit him more than usual with the rocket. But Cleo going down to Quap in the meantime, and here comes the bomb in onto Holden and getting blasted into the spawn door. Overpaid Rice Farmer not going to land that last rocket. Holden actually dropping off of the plat and not continuing the spawn, so kind of fortuitous if you're Holden not walking into that one, but still 30 seconds left on the clock. Gonna be a stalemate probably, and kind of like I said, low scoring and a slow match. Kind of the nature of the beast on Gully Wash, but not necessarily. As we said last week, this is a map where you can either have a 20-minute hold or you can roll 5-0 with 90 seconds max on each round, you know. So it's a great dichotomy on this map, but coming out for this Uber exchange, it really gets the gun, but not a whole lot of other frags. 8-Bit finally onto Cleo with the degreaser, but that took a while. Danye onto Bonesy, now another one. 8-Bit getting the degreaser onto Taylor. Quap now onto the soldier, and yeah, that's a stalemate. ICB held on, basically getting the virtual wipe at the last second there, but we're gonna draw it out to another mid-fight, about 16 minutes until banny time.
Yep, very, very close until infinite overtime, which is maybe a little bit surprising. Not too surprising. Only one round so far in this third map, and maybe it's a testament to how much each of these teams wanted to have the opportunity to make their way into grand finals. You come in onto a third mid, just try and see who's going to get the better of who. It is going to be Relapse jumping up onto that window sill, going to be immediately taking down Quap, trying to follow up with a little bit of damage. Not going to find much of anything, though. It's going to be both soldiers taking down for Cheesy Bread. They've got it back out of mid. They're probably going to lose for Demo. Chinese Dave is going to fall over in the choke. It's only going to be Danye and Holden trying to escape back to last. Are they going to be able to do it? I think they should be able to, but even still, if you were TNF, I wouldn't mind, you know, trying to send a sack, maybe see if you can get a little bit of an off-timing read onto Holden, who, to be fair, is playing very far back in their spawn doorway area, and it is just going to be TNF happy with the ground they've been given, which is mid and all of second and lobby control to boot, so they're going to be okay with that. There is a soldier over in water. It is going to be Bonesy. It's going to be rushed by two people, so immediately sent to the respawn room.
Well, about less than 60 seconds gone, and we're already back to where we were. So yeah, ICB holding on to their last once again, and it kind of goes back to my thought about being a stalemate team. If you're going to be a stalemate team, you better have your mids on lock, because if you get pushed back to your last, you're just going to look a little bit silly, frankly. And that's exactly what they did. Not the mid that they were hoping for. ICB getting rolled a little bit. Now TNF once again just knocking on the door very politely. We'd like to come in and talk to you about our Lord and Savior 5CP. But yeah, nothing doing for right now. ICB holding on. Gun is up in the standard spot. But I mean, technically the ball is in ICB's court. They are up 1-0, but eventually another point is going to have to be scored. It just has to. But Bonesy getting the pressure onto the point. Cleo not far behind with a scatter gun, but not quite the order they wanted to go in. The stick is a bit too late on the point. I can see what they're going for, but a little bit staggered. But they do get some picks in the meantime. And Rice Farmer tries his luck with the level 1 Snetty, just says, no. You got to earn it.
Yep, they do have to earn it. Aurelia has earned a trip to the respawn room, getting taken down. They're just trying to spam from that battlements area, or launch pad, or whatever you call it. I forget what the actual name is. I think it's launch pad. Balcony. That's what people call it. They call it balcony.
Launch pad. I mean, yeah.
Or launch pad as well.
Bro, we call it launch pad. We call it launch pad. This guy's not even. This is Zoomers.
You know what? I had a teammate who every time they would roll out on demo would say "into the balcony" as they jumped through that point. So maybe my mind is a little bit skewed.
Yeah, your brain got cooked by your demo.
They're going to be rushing forward. It's actually going to be Bonesy going down. Cleo was there with them to try and two-man rush the point, but unfortunately it loses one in that attempt, and Cleo's just going to play their life for a little bit. You've got Relapse on the point. Actually, maybe should get an arrow. Sitting at 94 hit points is now going to get it. Cleo dies, trying to escape through River, so that's going to be the two-man. Not working out for TNF, and at this point I wouldn't mind seeing an off class coming out from TNF. Maybe a sniper, maybe a spy, get Cleo up on something. Because at the moment I do like trying to go for the point, and I understand what they're trying to do. They've just not had the success there, and actually as I say that, they do have Cleo come up onto sniper, but with that being said, immediately we get sent to a pause.
Another pause. Could you see it coming? I could. Yeah, no, I was giggling at fucking Quap's spray here. Just look down and hit the spray real quick, and it's a sentry gun. Just a gif of a sentry gun. A blue one at that. I don't know, it just tickled me. I haven't seen a gif as a spray in a long ass time. Anyway, enough about me slowly revealing my age on this cast. I don't know what's up with that. But another pause in this here series. I mean, if you had the over-under for 5, you should have bet the over. Because there's been a lot of them. But yeah, I don't know whether or not to proselytize and pontificate about the nature of this one now. But if I had to make another bet, I would say Team Name Finger got it, and Cheesy Bread hit the emergency brake and sent everybody flying through the windshield. But yeah, I don't know. I really don't know here, because ICB has to figure something out, because holding on last, you're up 1-0, but once that bandy time hits, you're going to have to get another point to, finish the game and make it so that you can have a life, and not just be playing this for the rest of eternity.
Yeah, that is true. Someone does have to, at bare minimum, get one more. Well, actually, ICB, someone has to get at least one more round. If you're TNF, you have to, at minimum, get 2 more rounds. You want to try and walk away with it, as a continuous overtime is very slowly, but very quickly as well, kind of reaching upon us.
Lurking.
It is lurking in the shadows there of this game. Cleo, however, trying to open things up with a nice headshot onto Donnie. So with no engineer, they might be able to spam down that sentry gun. Do they have a Pybro and 8-bit? No, they do not. The sentry gun does go down. So now it's kind of all eyes on the soldiers to really maybe try and go for something. I say that Cleo does fall over in River, trying to go for an aggressive peek. So sentry gun taken down, but it's going to buy a little bit of time for Donnie to build it right back up. Bonesy kind of lurking over in River, but is a little bit weak, so probably just going to either wait for an arrow or just might try and play around that little bit of a health pack. Has been spotted, so I think they're probably just going to try and get the heck out of there. Is going to waddle, takes a bunch of damage to the sentry gun, and is now going to have to
no,
for
Taylor
an
ate the
and dies.
Oh no, somebody ate the arrow. Unfortunate. Oh man. Like I literally saw Taylor pop her head over to the top just to get that arrow out, and I saw somebody just like, nope, mine. But Uber exchange coming out 15 seconds on the round. Heavy's out, Uber's fading. 8-bit in the face of Aurelia, gonna die to Afterburn, maybe to a roller instead actually. But yeah, technically frag advantage for TNF, but the heavy on the point is also an advantage all of its own, and the stickies as well around the rim, and that's another stalemate. So 11 minutes gone, and they paused after the stalemate? What? Why? Tack? It's a tack off of a stalemate? What are we doing? What are we doing? Huh? I've never seen a pause off a stalemate. That's a new one. Wow, man. I love the AM semifinals.
You know what? To be fair, if you're TNF, you got to work on your last, and if you are ICB, you got to work on these mids, because they've lost both of them the past 2 times around, and it looks like they're on course to lose another one. Danye is super duper weak, so is Quap, and I think they are indeed. Danye might be able to get out to safety. Nice arrow to be able to keep them, but Bonesy is immediately here with the exit, and same thing for Rice Farmer, so they have got them completely penned in here. This is a terrible situation if you are ICB holding. Is just going to be trying to play to get their Uber, kind of lurking over towards their choke point, but the bombs are just coming in a little bit too quick, and this should be now finally a round, or just a lot better opportunity for a round if you are team named Finger. It is just going to be Quap trying to they get the pick on the Taylor. Exactly what you didn't want to happen if you were TNF happened. Really great stuff from Quap to be able to get that one and give their team a little bit more hope coming in here. They're still going to try and pressure, and I like this from TNF, just trying to see if you can do anything at all, but doesn't seem like they're going to find any success, especially with that heavy up on the field in 8-bit. So what was looking so good might still be okay if they get this pick on the medic, and they do. Bonesy coming up huge is going to be able to find 2. Holden and Chinese Dave taken down. So now what was looking like maybe a little bit of freedom for Cheesy Bread has immediately turned back into jail time purgatory on their last point, as they are now going to have to try and hold. It is going to be slight uber disad for them, as TNF are, to be fair, taking their time to get there, but they got a little bit of time to work with, as they're going to be waiting for their Uber to build up, get to 100%, and hopefully we're going to see a push coming out from team named Finger.
And yeah, it's just a complete comedy of errors how we even got here, because ICB was like in their shutter, and then Bonesy got behind, and then they just sort of ran back out of their shutter onto second with the pressure from Aurelia. I've never seen a team just leave their shutter to go back out onto second when they're being pressured. I'm just seeing new shit all the time here on It's Just Jazreal on Twitch.tv. Keep it locked here next week for the grand final of Amateur. But anyway,
which means you have to follow. Yes, great shout out. Uber push.
Uber push coming in, that slight advantage, but Holden coming up on that Uber. Will they be able to bust out of the spawn, however? That's always the tricky part on Gullywash, and the answer is a resounding no. As the score goes up 1-1, team named Finger finally answering back and bringing this one to parity.
Yep, and this is a little bit of danger zone if you are Cheesy Bread, because the last few, I think all of the past 3 mids, except for the very first one, the past 3 mids, crazy that this is actually the 5th and it's only 2 rounds on the board, but the past 3 mids, they have lost, and they've been sent back to their last. The only saving grace is that TNF has had a little bit of trouble pushing onto the last, but as we saw, you let them have enough opportunities, eventually one is going to manage, and Bonesy finding some really great opening picks onto the combo. Well, Cheesy Bread is not a great way to start things off. It's only going to be Danye left alive. He's going to be lurking in the back lines. They know that he's back there. Overpaid Rice Farmer, he's got his head on a swivel, just trying to see where that pesky scout could be. And they, once again, not looking too good for Cheesy Bread, especially so because they lost their medic and they weren't able to get onto Taylor. The last few times they've been fortunate in being able to take down both medics and not have to worry about the Uber situation. But Danye trying to fight up against Rice Farmer is staying alive, just being a little bit of a nuisance, but probably going to die here in Big. Doing well against Cleo, but no, Cleo going to close that down. And that is going to be maybe even a player advantage as well as Uber advantage for TNF.
Yeah, kind of giving that one up. I mean, I get it. But in that situation, just go down, drop down instead of hiding there and just get out. Because yeah, now you're down a player, down Uber. Once again, holding at 90% Uber. They're going through. They're doing the shimmy, shimmy, shake through spawn. They do get out this time, and the Uber is popped off. So looking better than last round already. And the Scatter going to take down Taylor and Bonesy. And Aurelia, and Chinese Dave has some stickies of his own to say about it, and now it's just overpaid Rice Farmer, the last alive. But he's just rumbling and bumbling, he's just waddling, and it's a speed shot, but the scout's dead, it's not a so rocket, he almost hits 2, oh, no, oh my god, that was almost clutch as fuck from overpaid Rice Farmer, would have been justified in his salary at that point, but it was not meant to be, and now indeed back to overpaid status. Bonesy getting chipped out of the sky by 8-bit, and Insane Cheese Bossy just absolutely rolling back coast to coast here, it seems.
Yep, it is a coast to coast coming out from ICB, something that they've needed in these past few rounds, considering they've been holed up on their last for so much of it. Now we do have the bomb coming in from Rice Farmer. Gets in one nice early rocket onto Holden, but going to be able to hold on to just their life for the moment. Don't have Uber charge to drop, so just going to be holding nice and alive. A little bit of Uber advantage, just a fair bit. The Soldier fighting Bonesy up is going to lose that relapse, going to be taken down. Now going to be rushing forward with 8-Bit to try and get that one. He's actually going to use the Uber. I think that's a little bit of a misplay, but we'll see if they're going to be able to do anything with it. Going to be going forward, and no Quap immediately goes down. Holden going to recognize and just trying to get the heck out of dodge. They are going to lose 8-Bit and Danye as well, and I think just kind of popping that Uber. They should have known that the Soldier was there. I think they did know, but
Yeah.
they just didn't expect the Soldier to be right there in their face, or maybe they thought 8-Bit was going to take care of them a little bit quicker. Either way, a little bit of a misplay coming out is going to award TNF an opportunity to get out onto their second and try and push on the mid.
Yeah, no, I thought it was a misplay from Bonesy because I thought he surely should have jumped out of River because he was just too weak, but he stayed to get the pack and actually got the force off instead. So yeah, turned a potential misplay into a clutch. But Bonesy does go down this time, so he will be the one dead for TNF at the moment. But Taylor still threatening with that Uber. Holden coming up on it, 90%, looking to break in just before he gets it. TNF threatening to finish the cap though, and the back cap starts at the same exact time, and they do stop the point like they were playing bagels still. And now Taylor the first to pop off the Uber, but a bit ill-conceived. Actually, no, they do on flash to get the cap going, but Wise 2 at ICB steps back onto the point with invulnerability to stop it, and now both points have seized capture. The back cap stopped momentarily, and now the mid fight, I guess, is going on. Bit of scout ulti-double, but Cleo comes in to uneven the odds a bit here. Stack the deck, and now it's Holden running for dear life, being chased by two Velociraptors and a T-Rex at the same time, and that's just pure terror.
Bro, what the hell just happened?
A collapse from ICB is what happened in TNF.
Good
looking
Lord.
very strong. I mean, that should have been the finished back cap, but I mean, it was just two great plays happening at once. It just seemed like TNF was just a little bit better. I don't know.
And now TNF in a really great opportunity to try and close it out. The server timer and the round timer are almost identical. Just a little bit more on the server timer than on the round timer. So if TNF play this perfectly, they could close it out 2-1. If they get it to overtime and then just get on the point right in time before we go to another round reset. But they're not going to be thinking about that. They're going to be going forward with this Uber. They lose Aurelia almost immediately, so not a great way to start things off. They get a little bit of cap time. Overpaid Rice Farmer just drawing a few eyes, making it a little bit more difficult for ICB to push out. But 8-Bit going to make quick work with them. And now it is going to be a push out for them. You can see Bonesy hiding in the spot in Gullywash lobby, doing the wall bug version, which you don't see too often. Normally people just stick on the lip, but it's going to be an attempted back half for Cleo. Not going to find anything to get a Viscera gun, but Bonesy comes in, does a lot of damage to Quap up on that high ground, but is going to go down. Cleo still lurking in behind, and it's just going to make their way back out to the rest of the team. But a huge sticky trap from Aurelia is going to absolutely destroy and halter this push from ICB. And now I think they're just thinking about, hey, we got to get the heck out of here.
Yeah, you gotta check those. Whoa, Cleo checks the stickies and Baby Door, and now an aggressive Uber, but Taylor just barely gets hers up, and the counter pops. So maybe, I think that was a solid foul play, but not exactly paying off here. TNF collecting Chinese Day behind the point. Bonesy's in River getting relapsed, but traded out. But once again, ICB just no breaks this time. They're just continuing back out from River, and Holden's very weak, very worse for wear, but they're getting the frags. Danye, Quap, 8-Bit Danye. Oh my lord. And it's just a complete collapse from TNF, and they look so in control. But instead, ICB has something to say about it, and man, they just came out full force. The aggressive Uber, and then the aggressive dry after the Uber. Just monstrous play, and we're going to see another repush in the mid. Maybe they'll check the 6th time, but they're not even there to worry about. But they do have to contend with Bonesy, who drops down, and a little bit of skirting and jumping away by Holden avoids that that danger for the time being. So a bit of a wasted sack here, but TNF absolutely on the back foot now on their second as the mid gets capped by ICB.
Yep, really great stuff from Quap, actually just kind of checking that and getting that early info for the team to know that a soldier was there lurking above the choke area. So ICB in a really good position at the moment. They've got 100% Uber advantage. They can go forward and make this a 2-1 game before continuous overtime and send us to a 3-something score overall. They are playing a little bit slow, and I think they're not going to go for it. Instead, they're just going to be happy to kind of stalemate this out because Taylor already has 95%, and you can maybe go off a 5% Uber ad, but you probably already kind of have to be in the point at that point to make it work, which ICP are not. So it is just going to stalemate out. Taylor and TNF are going to get their own Uber up. So it is just going to be a question of can ICP break in onto this last, as we are only 40 seconds away from continuous overtime. It is going to be a 2-something game. And question is it going to be ICP or is it going to be TNF?
I don't know, but we had a similar situation like this last week on Sunshine. I don't remember who made the mistake, but yeah, they definitely could have waited to cap the point before the continuous overtime, but they didn't, so they drew it out way longer than it needed to. I think it might have been Ringers in Paris that did that. But it's kind of funny that the same exact situation is happening here the week after. 5 seconds, and yeah, it's going to be a 2-something game. But ICB in the driver's seat, probably the most in control they've looked the entire map so far. It took a little bit to get there, but hey, we finally here. And they're the ones knocking on the door, rapping gently, gently on my bedroom door. Quote the Raven, nevermore. But there's some Edgar Allan Poe for you on Just Jazz Cast. ICB looking like they want to really just take their time and be as slow and methodical with this one and not really fumble the bag, as it were. Just peeking and prodding and poking, but we've seen how that goes before, and it ends up going to mid and getting wiped. So I don't know how they're going to tackle this one any differently.
Yep, very interested to see what they've got in store for us. Currently, a lot of defense is set up. 14 if they got the sentry gun, they've got the pyro as well, so maybe just trying to keep their sentry gun alive for as long as possible. Bonesy sitting on top of that point, just trying to make sure no one gets any free cap time, because as we kind of just said, you can pressure this point very, very well. Danye already getting a lot of point pressure and should be able to stay alive as well, makes her way back. Relapse coming in for a bomb. Is going to be able to get the pick on the Taylor, and now this is 100% ICP's game to lose right here. They've got the best opportunity they could ask for. They got 100% opportunity pushing in onto last, and it's really going to have to be all hands on deck for TNF. They got the heavy over in secret. They've got a not too much else. They got a pyro. Not sure how much good the pyro's going to do. Good if they're going to be able to read the doorway, but this could be it, number one.
Yeah, no, they definitely have to get that read right, and that's the one important thing, because there's so many ways to come in. The pyro have to be almost proactive and guess or predict where they're going to be coming from, but a bit of a scuffed Uber so far. 2 frags coming out. There we go. There we go. Bonesy answering back on to Danya, but 3 dead for the CNF side. 4, 5, the cap goes down, and there you go. It's going to be insert Cheesy Bread going to the grand final next week. Very hard-fought match. Team name Finger, heartbreak at the finish line. But good run all the same. Yeah, 2-1. Final score.
2-1 is the final score, and yeah, really, really close game all the way through. I mean, I guess in terms of the overall series, some of the maps were a little bit lopsided, but as you know, kind of saw both teams were able to at least claim a little bit of victory, get a couple of rounds on each respective map, and now finally ending it on Gully Wash, it is going to be ICP making their way to amateur grand finals. You got to give shout outs to TNF, however, for making it such a close game, but yeah, going to be TNF in the victor seat. Was a very slow game, or a low scoring game, as we both predicted, a slow game as you predicted. And yeah, you know, it was just kind of surprising just looking at all of the mids won. For TNF, they won almost all of the mids, actually, but just were kind of fumbling on pushing that last point.
Yeah, I don't know. I really liked how ICB was so cautious in that very last push when they got with the drop on the medic that they even left lobby again. They really don't like being in lobby. But yeah, no, slow and steady wins the race, I guess, if you're ICB. I have the wrong logs up. There we go. Yeah, low deaths for the medics, high frags for one of Blue Soldiers, and the scouts pretty evenly matched, actually. Yeah, no, the stats sort of tell the tale that ICB, actually, not really. Because, yeah, all those mid-fights won for TNF. You would have thought it would have gone the other way, but 2 drops for Taylor, and that's just... Ugh. Especially that last one with the scout and the soldier at the same time. It's one of those where you have to, like, just assume you're going to get some stupid chip from the scattergun that you weren't expecting in Just Force. I don't really know if she saw what was coming at her, but either way, it's a heartbreaking drop, and yeah, you could just feel the air escape the room for a team named Finger when it happened. But yeah, 2-1. Not really much else that I really can get from these logs. So yeah.
Yeah.
On to final thoughts.
I know 8-Bit wants to come in and do an interview while there's 9 minutes remaining on the other semifinal. So I actually have that game live on stream right now on isjustjazzreal.twitch.tv. So you guys are welcome to stay. I can send you guys the STV for that. We can just kind of watch it, not so much. If you want to cast it, we can cast it. But
cast it.
All right. And I'm gonna get 8-Bit in here while we do that, so you can talk about the game.
All right. So who are these players here? Bun Squad versus Marmot. 3-1, 1-1. Bun Squad just takes the round, making it.
It's 4-1. Bun Squad.
4-1. Jesus. Okay, I thought. Oh wait, I had still the teams up, but yeah. CE team name Blue is Bun Squad. I recognize that name. So coming out to the 6th mid, I assume here, if we've had no stalemates. Less than 9 minutes, we have a pause, and just as quickly, it's unpaused. Jumping around a bit, Bun Squad is red. I'm stupid.
Bun Squad coming in as a, Otto gonna be going down here. I don't have any aliases for these guys, so just gonna be saying what I see or what we see, unless you know something else. But it is gonna be victory for the red team, as this is the team that's running the demo night. I assume controller, probably on controller, gonna be going forward, and they are just one round away from being able to face off against controller. Gonna be going in with the demo night, not gonna find any victory there. I paid for this joke division. Actually inaccurate. You don't actually pay for amateur. Push his glasses up, but it's going
you actually pay for amateur now, by the way.
Oh wait, really?
Yeah, $5 so that you can lose to the demo night team and the maybe suspicious pocket scout. Many have said this. Many have been saying this. Many have been saying this, but we of course would not perpetuate unfounded theories here on it'sjustjazzreal.twitch.tv. Which you should be following. You should be following me, by the way, because we're going to be on Grand Finals next week on this Twitch channel. I don't know how to talk.
This video server thingamabob. What you got the shining pictures in the talkie box for?
Yes, sir.
But I tell you what, now Bun Squad looking in good position with that there demo night on Snake Water. I got to say, I never seen that one before. I would have thought surely he would have gone back to a regular demo, but he's going to go for that charge in, gets a kill on a KRP, and the demo pick is real. The gun, however, will not go down to the demo, but Bun Squad Dakota going to take down that Snetty instead, and it's 3 dead for Marmot. Uber finally popped off here in response by Veno. Just now fades the aggression from the Scout, and that's going to be a 5-1 for Bun Squad. We're going to have us a Bun Squad Cheesy Bread rematch for the grand final, it seems.
Yeah, it's going to be Bun Squad versus a Cheesy Bread.
I bet 8-Bit's thrilled about that.
Oh, 8-Bit's probably pretty thrilled. You know, it's gonna be two bread-based teams, buns and cheesy bread, going at it. I think that should be a pretty good game. Yeah, pretty hungry game.
All right. I'm gonna send an invite.
Who's gonna walk away?
I'm gonna send an invite to 8-Bit, and he's gonna get in here, and one of the other soldiers from Cheesy Bread.
The question is, number one, and just Jazz, who's gonna walk away with all the dough?
Ooh.
That there's a good question, Mango, but I can't imagine the prize will be too fancy for amateur, but with the bad blood between these two teams, I imagine it will be quite the spectacle next week. So make sure you tune in right here, right about the same time we started on Is Just Jazz Real on twitch.tv. Make sure you follow. And, if you got an extra $2,000, send him a Venmo. He could use it. He's got a job, but, free money is good. Oh, we got another one now? We're looking at the fireside cast and we're showing the competition? What are we doing?
Well, they rated us last time.
Oh, yeah, okay, fair enough. What's up, Josh?
Oh,
What's
yeah.
up, CO? What's up, Pika?
Oh yeah, this is the newcomer.
This is a newcomer grand finals.
Yeah.
So map 3. So hey, triple game
they're
coverage.
also on map 3.
Triple game
also on
coverage
map 3.
on twitch.tv/isjustjazzreal. Like nobody else is doing it like I do it, for the record, which is why you should follow. I know I say it a lot. And we're gonna drag 8-Bit and Sanav here in just a hot second. But I love TF2. I really love playoffs, and I love amateur TF2. I genuinely do. So producing these games is always a great blast, and it's awesome to have good buddies like Number One Rocker and TC Mono on the cast. So if you've really enjoyed it, just again hit that follow button. We're gonna have grand finals on next week. We're gonna do it up just right. So we look forward to seeing you there. But what we really look forward to having 8-Bit and Sanav in the interview room now as we wrap up this cast. Guys, how you feeling after on to grand finals? On to grand finals to face the Demo Night team. How we feeling, boys?
Let's fucking go, bro. Let's fucking go. Like, that's all I'm saying, bro. All I'm saying is, you know what I mean? All I'm saying is...
All I'm saying is, where is Flash the pup?
First of all, where is Flash the pup, bro? That's my question. Like, I'm still wondering where he's at. And second of all, like, we just bossed up Just Jazz. Like, where's the ICB respect, bro? Where's the respect now? Where's it at?
Bro, I've always been big on you guys. What are you talking about? What, he thinks I'm not an ICB guy. This guy. No,
we had people explicitly trying to kill our team. We had the biggest weirdos sniping us in scrims. We had people that snaked this fucking team, and we're in grands, bro. All I'm saying is, bro, shout out to Danye, who rang twice for us. What a goat. He got knocked out, locked in for scrims. Shout out Relapse, huge med drop at the end. Shout out Holden. Shout out Chinese Dave. Shout out the whole team that kept the mental. Shout out the coaches, Cyrus, Koshi, Mobe, Actual, Oak, my goat.
Shout outs,
go, man.
Just Jazz.
Shout out Just Jazz, bro.
Truth Nuke. Right.
The limbs, Just Jazz.
Well, for you guys, thinking about like this last week of scrims, knowing that this is all on the line against the only unbeaten team in AM. By the way, no com bomb. Your newcomer.
Let's fucking go.
Your newcomer winners.
Let's go.
But we're thinking about insert cheesy bread at the moment. We're thinking about insert cheesy bread. With you guys, like this last week of scrims, knowing you're facing the number one team, knowing that they're unbeaten, knowing that it's like do or die. What was the key to success, and like how'd you guys prepare?
So, it was actually very strategic. In our official against TNF, we noticed they really like to stalemate on last, and so their TL didn't do the pick ban, so we got all the pick bans, and we basically banned every map that they could stalemate on last on. And then we picked the maps that we have practiced the most on, and we also just know we diff them on Koth, because their Koth is, I hate to say it's pretty bad. It's much worse than their 5CP. But yeah, we were very strategic about it.
And then, I guess going into this grand final facing the Demo Night team, I mean, what's the plan? How you feeling?
Bro,
We got some tricks up our sleeves.
We got tricks up our
we
sleeves.
got some secret plays, bro. All I'm saying is, we're just so happy to be in grands, man. So happy. The whole team, the amount of work we put in, 6 months of scrimming, we're NC move-ups, made it to grands. Let's go, man. Let's go.
The people are saying it's the biggest. Well, they're saying it might be the biggest playoff berth of all time, but we'll see. TC Mono and Number One Rocker, you guys have been dutifully carrying the cast as I've been pressing buttons behind the scenes, trying to get stuff to work and stuff not to work. What questions have you guys got for 8-Bit and Sanav, if any? Damn, they got no questions. All right.
Listen, you guys did all your talking out on the field. I don't think there's too much more to say.
Yo, I want to shout out someone real quick.
Hey,
Cleo.
we're gonna get the
You
shout
gotta
out.
stick
We're
the
gonna get the
Highlander,
shout outs.
bro.
Oh, wait.
You gotta stick the
Whoa.
Highlander. You're a rocket magnet in lobby,
Oh.
bro. Do not hold W at me. You're a noob.
All right.
All I'm saying is.
Well, we're gonna hit the shout outs right now. So we're gonna send it to 8-Bit and then Sanov, and then we're gonna kick you guys out of my voice cast chat, and then we're gonna give it to TC Mono and then Rocker, and then I'm gonna close it off, and then we're gonna be back next week Wednesday evening, more than likely, for the RGL Season 20 Amateur Grand Finals. That's Grand Finals, everybody, which is gonna be Insert Cheesy Bread versus Bun Squad. 8-Bit, what shout outs you got?
Shout out the mentors, Cyrus, Koshi, Mobe, like
Mobe.
Shout out Soup Can, bro. My goat Soup Can. Like all the people we scrimmed, like the whole team, Relapse, Danye. Shout out Toki, man. He came in and did a job on Flank Scout. Like shout out Sanov, shout out Holden, shout out China State, bro. Let's fucking go, man.
All right, Sanov.
I already said my shout out. All I'm saying is.
Perfect. All right. Goodbye, guys. All right. No, TC Mono.
No.
TC Mono. Yes, they are gone. TC Mono. You did. Hey, coming in out the blue, joining a cast for the first time in like 7 years. Thank you for showing up. It's your time for shout outs, bro. It's your time for shout outs.
Oh, shout outs. Okay. Well, I mean, shout outs to the players for playing. Without them, there'd be no game to cast. Shout outs to all you guys for watching, coming out, enjoying the cast. Shout outs to Just Jazz. Just Jazz is real. Twitch channel. Amazing content. I only spent maybe less than 15 seconds here, and I immediately followed. You should do as I do and follow this guy.
Truth noob.
Yeah, truth noob right there. But no, legitimately, shout outs to Just Jazz. And shout outs to Number One Rocker. These guys are amazing. And it was really, really fun to spend an evening with them again, talking stuff about TF2. So those are my shout outs.
Lovely. Number One Rocker.
Well, since there's the common connection, shout out Mobe. How you been, homie? Shout out Just Jazz for having me on. Shout out Mono, my man, dude. It's like time hasn't even passed getting back on this cast with you. Shout out to both teams. Great series, TNF, close but no cigar. Better luck next year, and I really mean that. That was a really tough series. Shout out to my fiance who's over in Poland right
Ooh.
now. And
This guy,
shout
love
out
it.
TF2 team, and shout out Grape Juice for being here. We were looking for you last week. So yeah, that'll do it.
Truth noob. Yeah, quick shout outs as well. Both teams, really entertaining series, and for both teams, Team Bane Finger in particular, really great season. A lot of really good players on there. Looking forward to seeing how you guys improve over the next 2 seasons. Shout outs, Insert Cheesy Bread. I've known these guys for a while. I actually picked 8-Bit out of an MGE server and said, you have to play 6s. You're good enough. And now,
is he one of those?
And yeah, and now the little boy's got an ego, but that's okay. You know, everybody will get their comeuppance at one point. But we love 8-Bit. Shout outs.
Might be next week.
We'll see. Shout outs to the other 2 teams that competed tonight, Bun Squad and Marmot. Great job, Marmot. A lot of really good players on there. Looking forward to seeing Bun Squad in the final. I think that'll be interesting at the very least. Shout outs, Rocker and TC Mono. Rocker been a great person to have on these casts the last few weeks. And TC Mono just coming in out the blue. We love TC Mono on Is Just Jazz Real, Twitch.tv. Shout outs to everybody I played with this season, 30 chars. Shout outs to everybody on Bro Moment, past, present, and future, ... question mark. We'll see. And then shout outs to my cat Beans, who's chilling right next to me. Shout outs to my dad. We're going to raid Gamaya, everybody's favorite spy e-girl. But she's a sweet girl. Yeah, you know. Also, shout outs to Ice. Everybody, if you know Ice, you know.
Shout out Ice.
And then shout outs to Oitoy for the quick follow, which, by the way, give me a follow. If you're wanting the VOD, it'll be up in just a minute. It'll be just a minute. And also shout outs MG as well. We're rating Gamaya. Goodbye, everybody. ICE the player, not ICE the paramilitary squad.
But also that.
So, we love TF2. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye bye.